Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
As a Canadore College alumni, you have access to perks. Canadore Alumni Perks. This is a lifetime membership that includes special access to great offers, opportunities to get involved, and so much more. Graduates can access discounts and special offers from businesses and hotels locally, across Canada, and internationally. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Keep in touch with Canadore's alumni office. Visit canadorecollege.ca/perks. Great things happen here.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
The Frontline Podcast, Season 3. Courtney Kenny, Matthew Sukram, Derek Lindemann, Bob Coles, and Ben Long bring you closer to your favorite teams like never before. Covering everything to do with hockey in the North Bay area, exclusive interviews with the North Bay Battalion staff and players, expert analysis on the OHL, NOJHL, and more, keeping you up to date on all things Voodoos, Trappers, Lakers, and more. It's a new season, it's a new adventure. The Frontline Podcast Season 3. Available wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
Good evening, hockey friends, and welcome into Memorial Gardens for Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Championship Series between the Peterborough Petes and the North Bay Battalion. I'm your host, Derek Lindemann, and you are listening to Battalion Hockey on the Frontline. This evening's pregame show is proudly brought to you by...
The pregame show is brought to you by La Huerta Imports, family owned and operated since 1995. Visit LaHuertaImports.com for more details.
And joining me tonight on the pregame, out from behind the keyboard, producer Ben Long. Welcome, Ben. Big game tonight, Game 5. North Bay picking up a big win in Game 4. The only loss Peterborough has on home ice in the playoffs. We'll talk about more about that shortly. But Game 5, the winner of Game 5 goes on to win 83% of the 7-game series. So what better way to have it in front of a packed house and here in North Bay?
Yeah, this is where, if North Bay's going to have a Game 5, this is where they want it to be. You got the 7th man here. The more I've been to the different arenas to see games, the more I appreciate how loud and involved the crowd here is.
Yeah, and I know talking to a few of the other fans that made the trip down to Peterborough for Game 4, they were surprised at how quiet it was in Peterborough, especially before the national anthem and throughout the first period. Here in North Bay, the fans get into that chant, "Go Troops, go," right before the national anthem. And what better feeling than that is to get set for nothing more than a vital Game 5. We saw this in the last series with the Barrie Colts. Tied at 2-2, back on home ice. Neither team wins back-to-back games, but the Battalion win Game 5 in that series and go on to win it in 7. And similar situation tonight, they split games 1-4. They still have home ice advantage, and now it's a best of 2 or best of 3, first of 2, and we're kicking it off here.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you get to a series being tied like that, it becomes a new series again, right? And if North Bay can take the momentum that they had in that Game 4 and build on it, I think this next best 2 or 3 might be over in 2 rather than 3.
Yeah, hopefully so, as Game 6 will be back in Peterborough. 7:05 start there from the PMC down in Peterborough. What a building it is. And again, they've sold out now for 15 straight games. They were undefeated on home ice, winning the first 6 playoff games on home ice before losing in Game 4 to the North Bay Battalion.
Yeah, and it was interesting because in the game 3 down there, it was really a pretty even game. It wasn't too much one way or the other. So coming into that Game 4, knowing that the Petes hadn't lost a game in their home barn, and they played one against North Bay there already, it was like, this could be a daunting task ahead in North Bay, but really in that Game 4 they pulled it out. And like I said to Courtney before the game, my crowd was on air before we went to air, there's a first time for everything.
Yeah, there is a first time for everything. And really, these two teams haven't met for quite some time in the playoffs, and it's a great series. Pretty 2 evenly matched teams. And really, when you look at it, I was talking to Jordan before the game, and he said these are probably who is with the OHL media. He said this is the top 2 goaltenders in the OHL in Simpson and DiVincentis, and it's what a battle they put out in this series so far.
Yeah, it's been really amazing to see these 2 goalies at this level be playing against each other, especially when they're both on. It's kind of like there could be no more goals in this game. Like, I think we left the first period of Game 4 with a 2-1 score, and I said to Courtney, like, this game could end this way. Both these goalies are capable of just shutting the door and not letting anything else past them.
Well, before we get more on tonight's game, let's take a look at our players to watch, as they are brought to you by Mike, the financial advisor.
Players to Watch is brought to you by Mike the Financial Advisor. If you have financial questions, he has financial answers. On Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Mike the FA.
Our players to watch tonight for the Peterborough Petes, Gavin White. He's got 4 points in the playoffs, 1 goal, 3 assists for the Peterborough Petes. And for the North Bay Battalion, Ty Nelson, 22 points in the postseason. And those 22 points is 1 more than the entire D of the Peterborough Petes, who combined have 21 points. So that's quite an accomplishment, seeing Ty Nelson currently only 1 point behind Brant Clark in the playoff race in the scoring.
Yeah, he's the top of all players that are still playing. So if he gets a couple more points, he'll be the leading point scorer this playoff season so far.
And turning it back to Gavin White, this is a defenseman that was picked up at the trade deadline from the Hamilton Bulldogs, along with Avery Hayes, brought in for that pedigree of getting a championship last year. He went through it. He walked the line. He put his body on the ice every night to get that victory, and this is why Peterborough picked him up, is to bring that and be the leader on the defenseman, and he's been just that. Not getting many points, but he's out there in those important situations.
Yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of times with players to watch, we pick guys who play a similar role on their teams to each other, and today it's kind of an opposite role, right, where Ty Nelson is here largely with his point getting is sort of one of his big things he brings. Not that he's a liability in defensive zone, but when you talk about Ty Nelson, you're talking about his point production, right? Where with White, he was a sought-after player at the deadline, but it wasn't about point production, it was about what he does in other facets of the game. Yeah,
definitely the other facets being the experience. A 0-2 berth, he's in his final season in the OHL, and he was a draft pick of the Dallas Stars, still yet to sign that entry-level contract, so he still has something to play for, because he's looking for what he's going to do after this year in his next adventures in his hockey career.
Yeah, and it's kind of amazing to see kind of how players clump to different teams. Like in this game, I believe there's going to be 3 players who are Kraken prospects, and White is one of the 3 players who are Stars prospects in this game.
Yeah, one of the 3, the other 2 being wearing the green of the North Bay Battalion in Kyle McDonald, who already has that entry-level deal signed, and Justin Ertel, who's in his first year with the Battalion, coming over after being drafted after playing in the NCAA with Cornell. So Dallas really happy with what they see here on the ice and really happy for their prospects. And tonight, before tonight's game, the North Bay Battalion will introduce to this crowd their recent draft picks, including Carter Kostic, who just signed today an entry-level deal, a player agreement, including a school package to play for the North Bay Battalion.
Yeah, and that's exciting to see the new guys coming out and who we're going to get to come up here and get to see them in action next year. And, you know, like this time of year, it's kind of an interesting in minor hockey or in junior hockey where you have, like, the development camps for next year are already happening
Well, tomorrow is the North Bay Battalion one.
Yeah, like it's happening now while playoffs are still going. So it's really exciting for those players who were drafted by teams that are still playing hockey that they can come up here, see some hockey, they can see the arena, they can see the crowd, as opposed to if you were playing for, I won't name any teams, but if you're drafted by a team that's not still playing hockey, you're going down to an empty rink to do your development camp.
Exactly that. And a sellout here again for Game 5. So in excess of close to 4,300 people are going to be in this building. It's going to be loud. And it's just what the battalion want is that seventh man. You were in Peterborough for Games 3 and 4. Comparing those two buildings, can you really feel the difference between those two buildings, especially energy-wise?
Oh, for sure. And Peterborough's, of the rinks that I've been to, Peterborough is one of the ones that gets a little bit louder than some of the others that are really quiet. But I've not seen one that's quite like North Bay. You don't get that volume. Might be something about the low roof here that it just keeps all that sound right in close. But it does not get anywhere near to as loud as here when you're in Peterborough. The crowd just is not as loud.
Certainly is loud here, and we're going to hear it there momentarily when the battalion take the ice. We're 6 minutes away from puck drop. Still a little bit of time here on the pregame show. Let's turn our focus now to the lineups. North Bay Battalion again going with 11 and 7. The forwards will remain the same. On the back end, Wyatt Kennedy will draw in. Luke Briskowski will be the odd man out tonight, not dressing for the battalion.
Yeah, and Wyatt Kennedy had looked pretty good in the last couple games. He got to dress a couple games while there were injuries, and he looked pretty good. He didn't look out of place, so I think this is rewarding of his effort that he's put in for that, looking to the future that he's going to be here for the next couple of years. Yeah,
that's definitely a key. Is he's young, he's going to be here for the future. Peterborough Pete's still without Chase Dillman, who's serving his second of a 2-game suspension, and Jonathan Mele, who is out with an injury, not looking good because his leg is in a fixed cast, so he'll not be expected to return for this playoffs, and they again will dress the 11 and 7.
Yeah, for that Mele's injury, he went into the boards weird, and it was not a good looking situation right from the start. When I see him playing off the ice, I knew he was not going to be back for a little while.
Well, the other story is goaltending. We talked a little bit about that earlier. Michael Simpson, Dom Divinchentis, two evenly matched goaltenders. They've gone blow for blow in a heavyweight fight here. Both teams winning twice. Really, goaltending could be the difference. And the recent news, Dom Divinchentis winning that OHL Goaltender of the Year award.
Yeah, and I mean, I can't think of a better goalie to be winning that award this year. He's a great person, but he's a great goaltender, right? And that's what the award's about. Him and Simpson had near identical numbers heading into the last game. Divinchentis had quite a bit better performance in that game, though. So I haven't seen what their numbers are specifically today from the playoffs, but it's going to be a little less even today.
Definitely a little bit less even. I got to ask you about one comment that was made in the press conference after the Game 4, and that was J.R. Avon talking about he feels that Dom Divinchentis looking a little bit shaky, and if they can fire pucks at him, there could be rebounds there to be had. Does that go up on the bulletin board, and does Divinchentis look at that all the time?
Oh, for sure it goes up on the bulletin board. For Divinchentis, I think that's in one ear out the other, though. I think he's such a solid goalie. He doesn't need any extra stuff like that bounding in his head to keep being that solid goalie. But I think the team puts that on the bulletin board and says, oh, they want to see what happens when we fire pucks at the net, eh? I think it reminds me of last year in one of the press conferences, Brandon Coe had said something about getting the pucks in deep past Hamilton's big, slow defense. and then Hamilton just proceeded to shut the door on them the rest of the series.
Yeah,
and I think that could be one of those types of comments.
Yeah, we know how that fared as the Battalion lost that Eastern Conference Championship Series in 4 straight games. Not going to be the same here because we're already in Game 5. So the Battalion have already played longer than they had last year. 2 wins away from punching their ticket to the OHL Championship. Both teams on the verge. A big win tonight will put them one way away from that championship. Game 4, always the hardest to win though, and it's not going to be any harder than this series. 2 good teams, evenly matched. Coaching, big difference. How does Ryan Houlihan use that fourth or that last minute change where he can get advantage?
I mean, I don't know how much he is actually using that last minute change for an advantage, because North Bay's parity on their lines is pretty big. I mean, the only way I can possibly see what he's pulling in there is if he wants to make sure he has Arnsby's line out against some of the high offensive lines. Van Steensoter, Assumption Arnsby is one of the finest defensive lines in the OHL, and you've seen that with shorthanded goals, empty net goals, where they take where the other team should have them hemmed in, and they use it to make an offensive chance.
Yeah, and a lot about that. You look at the Peterborough lineup, really 3 lines. You don't see much of that 4th line. Those 2 players, Lefebvre and McCallum, out there. They get the odd shift here and there. Ulan has the privilege where he can roll 4 solid lines and really match up who he wants out there any given time. To me, the big difference is, can you roll those 4 lines and really wear down the top 2 Peterborough Pete's lines that have been doing all the damage?
Yeah, and I think the biggest privilege that they have is going with 11 forwards. That 4th line potentially becomes a lot more dangerous, where you can throw Petrov or McDonald or Zito out with players like Romani and Wakely, who aren't slouches on their own.
And that's the advantage of going 11 and 7. You can get an extra player out there like a Petrov or a Jackson, one of those players that are really going at the time. Well, you can hear the crowd behind us already getting into this game as the Battalion are on the ice. We're just moments away now from puck drop as the players are ready. The 4,200 plus are ready and screaming on their feet. We're ready up here in the press box. When we return, Matt Sucrum will join Ben Loring for the call of Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Championship Series as you are listening to Pete's Battalion on the front line.
A special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay to see how we can serve you and the community every day.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
From the Ajax Pickering Raiders, Landon Stevens. From the Vaughan Kings, Ewan McChesney. From the Waterloo Wolves, Matthew Darrigan. From the Quincy Red Devils, Dean Osterhout. From the Mississauga Senators, Ryan Daze. And 2 members of the North Bay Trappers U18 team, Nate Gravel and Caleb Dawson. Congratulations to all our new prospects and welcome to North Bay. Please stand, remove your hats, and join Linda Birch for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. Carton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're having some difficulties here.
Okay, I can hear it. Sorry about that. Good evening and welcome to Memorial Gardens. I am Matthew Sukram alongside Ben Long, and we are set for Game 5 of the OHL Eastern Conference Finals. It's the North Bay Battalion and the Peterborough Petes, and it's come down to a best of 3 now. North Bay have done their job. They've regained home ice advantage, but now they have to make sure that it is going to pay off. The Battalion are going to try to skate out of Memorial Gardens with not only a win tonight, but also a series lead. It doesn't mean the job is done, but it certainly puts the pressure on the Petes to have to go back home, win Game 6 at home, and then have to come back here and then win a Game 7. For the North Bay Battalion, it's get your job done, take care of your business in front of the home fans.
Yeah, and just before we have opening face-off, we will be saying the puck is dropped at the opening face-off, so for anyone who's trying to match up video to our audio, you'll be able to do that. And they're lining up here with Arnsby and Beck for the opening face-off. Should be a good one in front of a sold-out crowd, and once again, we thank you for joining us. The puck is dropped, and we are underway. Game 5 from Memorial Gardens as Lucan finds Nelson, who dumps it down the ice. In behind the Peterborough net, Van Steensel finds it, looking to center it off his skate. Arnsby has it, sends it on net. That's blocked. It gets back to the skate of Arnsby, to Nelson, sending it in, and it just goes wide. Van Steensel flips it to the near side to Tarasevich, down to the point to Lucan. Across the right side, it's Nelson firing it in just wide of the net. Picked up behind the net by the Battalion. They poke it to the far side boards. Down the point, Nelson coming in. The shot goes off the stick of Arnsby and over the glass and out of play. An impressive 34 seconds to open the game here for the North Bay Battalion. Yeah, and unless you score a goal, you can't draw up a first shift better than the one that we just saw by the North Bay Battalion. They had great puck control. They were shooting. They were picking up the rebounds. They were moving it around well. Owen Van Steensel looked great in the last game, and he's looking great this game again, too.
Owen Van Steensel, who basically was scoring every empty netter he could, had 2 goals in Game 4. One of them a shorthanded marker. This one is into the North Bay zone, and very quickly it's covered up by Dom DiVincentis. And Dom DiVincentis was the maybe subject of some controversial quotes by the Peterborough Petes after last night's game, but I don't know if you want to wake up that beast if you're Peterborough.
Well, I don't know if there's Yeah, matter of waking up, he's been so good. I think it's one of those things like I mentioned in the pregame, Brandon Coe's comments, a big, slow defenseman about Hamilton. And
That's right.
I don't think Dom needs more motivation to be a great goalie, but I think the rest of the team's going to use, as I say, shots on net, huh?
They were talking about, Brandon Coe was talking about Arbar Jackeye in that series against Hamilton, and boy, did Jackeye go on to have such a great series, and maybe that happens here after J.R. Avon said Dom DiVincentis looked a little shaky through the first 4 games. I don't know which game he was watching, but we'll see how that pays off over the last 2, maybe 3 games of this series as play is back underway. North Bay dumped the puck into the Peterborough zone. It's very quickly turned back out, and there's Avery Winslow, the veteran, feeding it up to Zito. Zito skating to the right side, dishes it off the backhand, and will chase it towards the end boards. Picked up behind the net by Spearing. He will come down the right side and get it to the neutral zone. Picked off by Bloom. He dumps it in. It goes off a body and over the boards into the Peterborough bench for a stoppage of play. 18:32 remaining in the second period. There is no score.
Yeah, and this is the way North
First period, sorry.
First period, yeah. And if you're looking on the screen, if you're watching us, you'll see it's the first period there. We do have that up on our scoreboard that Matt Super figured out.
Off the draw, the shot scores! Josh Bloom! It's all about the boom, baby! And the Battalion take a 1-0 lead early in game 1. In game 5, in the first period. That scoreboard is going to mess me up.
Man, that was just a goal scorer shot, though. 12 inches off the ice, right under the blocker. But we always talk about how important faceoffs are, and I'm always harping to the on-air guys about we have to have this faceoff. I was talking, and Josh Bloom scores a goal.
But here's the thing, how important is it to win those faceoffs? Something the Battalion haven't done a lot this series. In fact, they were trailing in that category 28-12 going into the third period of Wednesday's game. But it certainly paid off there for the North Bay Battalion to win a big offensive zone draw. So Josh Bloom with his 3rd goal of the postseason. The Vancouver Canucks prospect coming through there. 1-0 lead. North Bay here in game 5. Play underway. It's inside the neutral zone. Lockhart has it. Dumping it down into the North Bay zone. Picked up behind the net by Nelson. He skates forward over the blue line through the neutral zone and dumps it in. Picking it up in the far side corner is Peterborough captain Spearing. He sends it to the near side. And now they look to get it out. And they do. Hayes dumps it towards DiVincentis. DiVincentis kicks it to the half boards. And that's picked up by Christopoulos. He sends it up ahead to Petrov coming in on the left side. Matvei Petrov stops in the corner. Sends it to the blue line to Winslow, who feeds it to the circle. Back to the corner. And now up high to Winslow. Taking the shot. Shot blocked. Now it goes back to the point. And the shot comes in. And it's stopped by Simpson. And that will be his 3rd stop of the game. 17:10 remaining in the first. 1-0 North Bay.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about how this 11-man offense allows the opportunity to put the extra forward out with Wakely and Romani. And that was a perfect shift of Petrov being out there with them. And that was a nice tip right at the end by Wakely in front of the net to create a bouncing puck for Simpson to have to save.
That Wakely-Romani pairing has paid dividends for the Battalion in this postseason. And you guys mentioned it on the pregame show. Again, going with 7 defensemen. Here comes a shot towards DiVincentis. Blocker save made off the shot by Beck. And North Bay will get it out to the neutral zone. And coming down the ice, Tarasevic on the right side takes a shot deflected wide of the net. Picked up by the captain Arnsby to the top of the circle. Tries to feed it across the zone. It's picked up off the boards by Tarasevic. Down low to Liam Arnsby right in front of the net. He tried to backhand it through his own legs. Got pushed over in the process. And then the puck turned aside. It is now back in control for the Petes. And he will get it to the neutral zone. Dumped down the ice. It is DiVincentis who will leave it behind the net. Holding it back there is Lukin, who took a hard hit in last night's game and looked like he might not be able to make Game 5, but there he is out on the ice. And it's in the neutral zone. Zito down the left side, holding it on the half boards, gets off a couple of hits, or he receives a couple of hits, gets away from those, and try to get the puck to the middle, but the Petes get the puck, break up the play, and send it down the ice. 16 minutes to go in the first period. 1-0 North Bay lead. The puck goes to the far side boards. Now across to the near side to Petrov. Petrov whips it around. It goes to the far side. Holding it on the other side is Smith. He lost the puck with McDonald in the area. Kyle McDonald with 12 goals. He leads right now in that category in the OHL. And it's still frozen against the boards there. It finally comes out of the area to the point. Mathurin trying to kick away at it, trying to keep it alive in the zone. Pushes it in the corner and around the end boards. It's finding the stick of McDonald. But so are two Peterborough Petes players finding McDonald himself. They knock him off the puck. It comes to the line, and it's cleared down the ice by Peterborough. It will go the length of the ice. Hislop touches it for icing. 15-18 remaining in the first. North Bay ahead, 1-0.
So, just a minor correction on the Lucan incident in the last game. It was a shot block that hit him in the top of the knee. And that was scary. Like, I've been hit in the top of the knee with shots before, and that's nothing at the level that these guys are shooting at. So I can only imagine the amount of pain that's going on there, the amount of damage. If you hit, a puck right in the right spot on your knee, that can be big damage at the... Because there's not a lot of coverage right at the top there where the pants meet the shin pad.
And the funny thing is good to hear that he is okay, but Luke Brustowski is out of the lineup, so they swapped Wyatt Kennedy back in, and Kennedy, who has appeared in 6 games this postseason, is back in the lineup as the 7th defenseman. North Bay win the draw, but they can't get the shot off. They had the exact same play drawn up. It was Bloom there, but it was out of his reach. Now in the neutral zone, Nelson throwing a hard hit, and that allows the Battalion to find the puck in their own end. Jackson going forward down the ice. He had a goal in Game 4 as well. Dumps it down and is played in along the end boards. A couple of guys digging away at it. It goes to the far side boards, comes out to the middle. Winslow's there, and his shot goes high. Picked up in the corner by Govro. Feeding it down the boards and dumped out of the zone. It's shot right back in. The Petes really can't do much on the counterattack through the first 5.5 of this game. Now they'll try to find Hoffman down the far side. It's knocked off his stick, and Christopoulos finds it in the far side corner. He is in his own zone, though. Hoffman tries to center it, picked off by Jackson, and he'll skate out. He's got Hertel with him. Over the blue line, Hertel to the middle. The shot save made. And then the rebound comes to the near side boards and cleared out by Peterborough, though it's sent down the ice, and that will be icing called again. I don't think Peterborough has had this kind of a start to any period this series, where through the first 5 minutes and 45 seconds, they really have nothing going, and they trail 1-0.
Yeah, no, they've been really good at coming out strong, and North Bay seems to have found that out and fixed any problems that they have been having with their starts. But they've been doing really good here tonight with coming out strong. Well, that last shot, we had a rebound where Bloom just about got a second chance to score again. Speaking of a little bit sloppy goaltending with rebounds to be had, I've noticed that with Simpson the last couple games, his holding the puck has been not as great.
Back coming down the ice, gets around a defender, gets a shot on net, and DiVincentis makes the save. Just the second time he has been tested so far tonight. 14:04 to go. 1-0 North Bay lead. And once again, we want to thank you all for tuning in. It's been a pleasure bringing you these games. Hello to Jason and Roger, as well Melissa and Richie. Braden, thanks again for hopping on. Lyndon, nice to see you on the broadcast. Hope you're having a great summer. Hi to Jeremy, Lauren, Caroline, and Bad Karma, whoever that is. Thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's game. It's 1-0 North Bay, 14:04 remaining in the first period. Face-off is to the stick side of DiVincentis. And the Petes win the draw, but then they split the D as it goes right through them at the line, and they chase it all the way down the ice. There's Gavin White, one of the Dave's Auto player to watch tonight for the Peterborough Petes. He gets the puck, and he sends it all the way down the ice, deflected into the zone to negate the icing, but now it's flipped out of the zone to the stick of Tarasevic. Down left side to Van Steensel in the middle. Scores! Owen Van Steensel! Oh, it was so good! And the Battalion lead 2-0 in the first period of Game 5.
He's looked so good in the last few games that it's sort of like the player where we see spurts of brilliance come out of him. He's just been consistently on his game. So to get up to 2-0 now, I think mentioned, I think it was Courtney had mentioned too, that Simpson, he scored his first OHL goal against Simpson, first playoff goal this year against Simpson. He doesn't mind playing against Simpson at all, and tonight he's shown it again.
Owen Van Steensel has been on fire the last couple of games now. That is his 5th goal of the postseason. And the Battalion will ice the puck there. Again, we mentioned he had 2 last game. As part of a 3-point night, he also had an assist. One of those goals was shorthanded. It's his 6th goal of the playoffs, and his 4th of this series. He had a goal in Game 2, 2 in Game 4, and now 1 here so far in Game 5. And Dom DiVincentis is getting the assist, I heard, the secondary assist on that. 13:15 to play in the first period. 2-0 North Bay lead here in Game 5. It's down to the point, Christopoulos. Across the left side, Winslow. Winslow working in down low. Leaves it off the boards for Wakely. Wakely holding it in the corner. Couple of guys pressing up there. Battalion looking to get it out of that area. They do. They center it to Jackson, and he sends it off the stick of Simpson and up high, but it stays in play off the glass and sent down the ice. It'll be chased down the ice by the Battalion, and another icing coming up here against the Petes. It's got to be the 5th already through the first 7:20 of this game.
More than any coach wants to see, that's for sure.
That's it.
But yeah, there's a few of them going to the bench, and before the whistle was even blown, the ref was saying, no, stay on the bench. Oh, but they're letting some changes happen now. Interesting.
Well, that's Robertson. He's being looked after by the trainer, so they're allowing that change to happen.
Looks like it's a skate
Maybe there's an equipment issue, yeah. 12:40 to go. North Bay win the draw. They pass it across to the far side. Back to the point. Shot coming in, and that one's turned aside. Goes up high. Comes down into the corner. McDonald trying to control it. He's shoved off the puck, and it's out to the neutral zone for Othman. He whips it around the boards. Picked up behind the net for DiVincentis. He turns it over to Beck. Beck trying to wrap around Chance, but the defense get back there in time to bail out their goaltender. Now it's Zito going the other way. Drops it at the blue line to McDonald. McDonald going to the far side corner. Flips it back to the half boards looking for Zito. Zito throws down Beck. Gets the puck, centers it to McDonald, and the shot goes off the blocker. On the half boards on the near side, Nelson whips it around behind the net. Zito is pushed down hard from behind. Never got control of the puck, but the officials let that one go. And now they're going to call a hand pass in the neutral zone. 11:50 remaining in the first. 2-0 North Bay lead. Maybe North Bay should have had their first power play opportunity of the game, but they'll let that one slide for the time being.
Yeah, I mean, I get where that could be called hitting from behind or maybe boarding, but you're not going to get that call in this time of year. It was away from the boards. He wasn't going to face injury from it. It was a guy going for the puck.
In the face-off circle right at center ice, the Battalion cannot win the draw, and the Petes push it into the zone, but very quickly Jackson finds the loose puck in the middle of the zone, and he'll carry it to the far side boards. Now he leaves it behind the net for Mathurin with 11:30 to play in the first period. North Bay ahead 2-0 as Mathurin comes out from behind his net with the puck. He gets it up ahead to Jackson, dishing it off to the right side to Bloom into the zone. Bloom's shot towards the net is blocked, and Perdeller will go the other way. He had a goal in Game 4. Perdeller puts it on net. It's off the body and over the glass and out of play with 11:15 remaining in period number 1. 2-0 North Bay.
Yeah, and the back check on that play was proof of what I think we're going to see for the rest of the game now that they're up by 2 goals. You can see that third man staying high every time, almost as if a third defenseman is out there. They're not going to give up that forecheck, I don't think, but they're going to make sure there's a third man back so they're not giving up odd man rushes.
Arnsby to take the draw against Robertson, and he wins it to the boards to Christopoulos, who flips it behind the net, and now they get to Van Steensel coming down the left side. He'll play it back to Winslow, across to the far side of Christopoulos. Christopoulos over the blue line, dumps it towards Tarasevic, who deflects it into the attacking zone. It goes all the way around the boards, up to the near side. Arnsby throws a hit knocks down his man, but the Petes are able to find the puck, and they get it out of the zone. Othman's dump in is blocked. Winslow going the other way, sends it to Tarasevic, down the right wing side to the circle, drops it back to Arsby, the shot, scores! The captain coming through again. Arsby makes it 3-0 for North Bay in the first period.
Earlier that shift, he was hammering a body, ends the shift by hammering a puck home into the net. That was a beautiful slap shot, beautiful one-timer setup by Tarasevic right there.
Liam Arsby with his 6th goal of the postseason. And remember, he scored a big one here in Game 2. Prior to throwing that followed up with a huge hit.
Yeah.
Later on his next shift, I believe it was. I was actually talking to him after the game. I said, which one of those felt better? He's like, obviously the goal, but that was a hell of a hit. He had no goals in the postseason last year. He had 6 points in 13 games. He has 8 points now through 18 games, including the 6 goals that he has now scored. Check that, that's 9 points now with that goal. 10:23 remaining in the first period, 3-0. And I don't know, I mean, Liam Arsby obviously isn't the guy that's going to lead the team in points.
Nope.
But if your captain is scoring goals like that, how can you not follow this guy in everything he does?
Yeah.
10:15 to play in the first period. North Bay have built up quite the lead here. 3-0. And the Battalion have the puck in the neutral zone. Petrov dumps it in. McDonald behind the net trying to get it back, but it's taken away by McCoy, and he sends it out to the neutral zone. The dump into the North Bay end is picked off quickly by Nelson. He gets it back out to the neutral zone. Now across to Petrov. Petrov coming down the left wing side. Goes to the net, sends it around the boards, and it's now at the line where McDonald controls it. McDonald fans on the initial shot. Got it back, played it to the boards of Lukin. Lukin sends it down low, and the deflection from Petrov is right into the pads. We're halfway through the period, and there's some rough stuff going on behind the net. The officials are trying to break it up. Not sure.
It's Zito for the Battalion in there.
McCoy was involved. He's now skated away a little bit. I'm not sure who it is for the Petes. And there is a Zito chant happening at this sold-out crowd at Memorial Gardens. It looks like we're still going to take our break here. Okay, we'll be right back on the front line.
This period is brought to you by Canada Alumni Perks. Get information on special events and news or access the Alumni Job Portal. Visit canadacollege.ca/perks for more information.
Welcome back. Derek is down between the benches, and Derek, that is exactly the kind of start you want if you're North Bay in front of the home crowd.
Exactly the start you want, Matt. Quick goal, a minute 29 in, and it's Josh Bloom, a player that's been snake-bitten most of these playoffs. That's only his 3rd goal of the season. Really got things going, and the urgency you can really tell is there with the Battalion tonight, where they're being in the offensive zone, the defensive zone. They're back-checking hard. They're forechecking. They're doing all those little things right, and that's what's led to this 3-0 lead, and they're going to get a power play to come out of this media break, Matt.
Awesome. Thanks so much for that, Derek. So the Petes are getting penalized after that last play, and so the North Bay Battalion are going on their first power play of the game. They only had 1 power play in Game 4.
It was one way with the penalty calls that game.
But they were 4 for 4 on the penalty kill. And here they come, looking to make it a 4-goal game with the man advantage. Nelson with a shot. Save made by Simpson. And I am not sure what happened there. Kyle Jackson looked like he pushed Simpson, but I think he was pushed into the Pete's netminder.
Oh, yeah, he was shoved directly into Simpson by, I couldn't see which of the Pete's players was out there behind him, but he was pushed right in after a good save was made by Simpson there to negate the first 13 seconds of the power play here.
On the opening goal by Josh Bloom, Kyle Jackson got an assist, and we'll tell you why that matters in a little bit as the Battalion win the draw. It's down the point, and as they're touching the puck, Zito is getting called for holding in front of the net. So the Battalion power play ends 21 seconds into it starting. Oh no, it's going to be interference. Is that what he... I thought initially he did this, but afterwards it looked like he did the interference call. So Zito gets called for interference, and how many times do we see that over games 1 and 2 where Zito was trying to create space in front of the net and then he got penalized for it?
Yeah, and that's when you're one of those players that when you play on the edge like that, you really got to watch out that you don't cross that line, because it's very easy to go from physical to rule break.
Yeah, you're just trying to play tough, and then you get called for it, right? Yeah. There is that fine line. So it's 4-on-4 play now with 9 minutes remaining in the period. 3-0 North Bay lead. They try to get out to the blue line. McCoy keeps it in, plays it down low, back in the middle. McCoy is just hugged down in the ice, and that one is going to be called against Christopoulos. So the Petes from their own end now, bringing it forward. It's Maillet across to the far side. Othman drops it back to the line to McCoy. Across to the left side circle now. Back across to Othman. Plays it up high. McCoy with the shot. That's blocked by Arnsby. And he kicks it out of the zone. And McCoy will chase it. So the Battalion are content not to completely touch the puck to keep that delayed penalty going, because when they do touch the puck, as they have now, it's going to be 4-on-3.
And it's a bit of a surprise to see a little bit of some rough stuff happening on the ice there after the whistle. And Othman's actually skating towards the bench, not in the middle of it. He's been sort of the center of a lot of the trouble this series.
Mm-hmm.
And Christopoulos is going. It looks like they're not calling anyone from that rough stuff after.
No, so they're calling holding on Christopoulos.
That would be a hard hold not to call, as the guy was making a break to the net, and Christopoulos just kind of draped on him and pulled him down. But coming after that last call against Zito, it's kind of two calls that are you'd rather not
questionable.
See.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if even questionable, but this time of year may not be called.
Yeah. So it's 4-on-3 for 45 seconds. Pass across to the right side, Othman to the left side, shot coming in, and that one's blocked. Spearing will get on the ice next, and it'll be 5-on-3. White across the left side, shot coming in, save made, rebound chance. What a save by DiVincentis!
No, that was Nelson with the glove save.
Or maybe Nelson that threw his hand up to stop it. I thought DiVincentis made the cartwheel save there, but I guess it never got past Nelson.
No, that's save of the game right there, I think, for Ty Nelson.
Nelson with a hard hit on the far side, and that disrupts the pass to the line. Spearing is coming out in 3 seconds. It's about to be 5-on-3 for 20 seconds. Spearing out of the box, and he'll skate directly to the bench, and maybe he shouldn't have. As the Battalion get the puck and send it down the ice right behind where Spearing was skating. They should have stuck around to see what they were going to do with the puck. So with 5 seconds to go now in the Zito penalty, it's going to be 5-on-4 for the next 50 seconds. Zito is out on the box, and the Petes continue the attacks. And Nettie sends it to the right side, and Beck scores. Beck was wide open, and I think the Battalion just lost themselves in that transition game, going from having 3 guys on the ice to 4 guys on the ice, and just losing their coverage a little bit.
That's been one thing that Peterborough's been really good at on their power play so far this series, is they really concentrate a lot of their players on one side of the ice, and it draws all of North Bay's defenders over there, but it leaves a man completely open on the weak side. And this time he's close to the net with an open net. Owen Beck's not going to miss that shot.
So we are back to 5-on-5 now, with that goal coming after Zito gets onto the ice. 7:09 remaining in the first period. It is 3-1 now for the North Bay Battalion. Still in the first period. And the goal getting reviewed, and it is deemed a good goal. So now the Petes have a little bit of life here in the second half of the first period. 4 goals in the opening frame, and we still got 7 minutes to go here. So play underway as the the Petes fire it into the Battalion zone. DiVincentis leaves it behind his net for Lucan. Lucan bringing it down the right side, overskates the puck. Looking to take control of it is Avon. He gets pushed in the boards, and Lucan gets the puck up to Hertel. Hertel sends it down the right side, and it's around behind the net. 6:30 to go in the first period. In the far side corner, looking to bring that out is Robertson. He'll now leave it, and now he'll skate across the zone with it. Gets it to Lockhart. Lockhart tries to dump it in. That's blocked, and now it's up to Bloom. Over the left wing side, across to the right side, it's Jackson. Jackson back in front. The shot save made by the Petes netminder Simpson. And then the Petes push Hertel on top of Simpson. I don't know if Hertel was getting his stick in the way there, and if that's what they were getting angry about.
So what I saw there was when Simpson went down, he had covered the puck between his legs with his glove. Hertel took a little poke at it, which forwards will do, but no one's going to like that. He got pushed, and if you're going to fall somewhere, you might as well fall in the direction of the guy that you want to get under his skin a little bit. And I think that's what happened there.
6:18 to play in the first period. 3-1 North Bay lead. Goal scored by Bloom at 1:29, Owen Van Steensel at 6:17, and Liam Arnsby at 9:18. Van Steensel and Arnsby both with their 6th of the postseason, and Bloom with his 3rd. Nikita Tarasevich with a pair of assists on that goal, or on those second 2 goals. And play continues. 6 minutes to go in the first period. Romani with the puck in the neutral zone, over the blue line. To the left side is Van Steensel. Van Steensel sends it along the end boards into the far side corner. Now behind the net, it's McCoy who has it for the Petes. He tries to get it out. That's blocked on the near side boards. Wakely trying to find it. Gets pushed past him. Now at the line. Romani can't keep it alive in the zone, and it's out to the neutral zone. Hislop quickly across him a third and dumped back in. Picking it up on the near side boards is Wakely trying to dig away at it, but then McCoy steals it and sends it around to the far side corner where the Petes are able to get it out to the neutral zone. Wakely gloved it down, lost it, and now J.R. Avon coming in. Avon pushed off the boards, or off the puck, and the Battalion get it to the boards and get it out to the neutral zone, and they dump it down the ice. Now behind the net, that is Petrov, skating towards the blue line. He gets it to Zito. He'll push it in toward the end boards. Knocked out of that area by the Petes, and now stuck in the corner. The Petes find control of the puck. They send it up ahead to McCallum, and McCallum is able to dump it in. Now Kennedy chasing it behind the net. Battling back there with Spearing, I believe. No, check that, Maillet. The Battalion get it out from behind the net, send it out to the neutral zone, and now it's Zito going the other way. Zito towards the net, trying to play it up front. Now it's Petrov right there. Petrov takes it around behind the net, centers it to McDonald, and he cannot bury it. They had Simpson out of position, but they send it right in towards him, and he made the save. Now Winslow coming back in. He goes offside. Zito is knocked down as he collided with Othman.
No,
I think
back there.
Dubois. No, sorry, Beck, sorry. You're right, Beck, after the whistle had gone.
Well, Zito was trying to make his way out.
Zito is getting called for roughing on that play.
I think Zito and Beck are both getting called for it on that play.
Yeah, Beck is for sure. I would just not have called anything, to be honest.
If you want to make sure guys aren't taking shots, you got to call those. And, you know, you call it both ways. That way you're not putting one of the teams at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Avery Winslow didn't see Zito coming out, so he was heading back in, and Zito was trying to rush out of the zone there.
Yeah, so it was a weird play, right? The Battalion had a couple of chances in front of the net and just neglected to shoot the puck with Simpson out of position.
Well, there was a couple shots taken in there.
Yeah.
That just didn't get through to the net.
So here we go. It's 4-on-4 play for the next 2 minutes. 4:15 to go in the first period. It's a 3-1 North Bay lead. Robertson over the blue line into the North Bay zone. He stops on the half boards on the far side. And one of the Petes players has run into DiVincentis, and DiVincentis was actually in his net. So now they finally have crawled out of the net. And one of the Battalion players was really giving it to Zanetti.
Christopoulos grabbed him right away and pulled him out from under DiVincentis. I didn't see how he ended up under him, but that was... There's been issues earlier in this series about DiVincentis being run by Pete's players.
Yep.
And that's another example of that. And me and Courtney were talking about on air where, you know, if we want to take fighting out of this game...
Whoa, hang on. We just saw the replay. Zanetti went into DiVincentis, but he bounced himself off of Christopoulos and then took 3 steps and went, whoa, I'm falling over now. That is garbage.
Yeah, that's...
And that should have been called.
Well, if the league wants to take fighting out, they got to make sure that the refs are protecting the goalies.
Yeah.
And you can't have that kind of garbage happening. I nearly
He looked
said
like
words that shouldn't have been said on air.
Well, he looked like the Tin Man
Man
from the Wizard of Oz there when he didn't have enough oil in him. Whoa, I guess I'm going to fall this way. There's a chance on net. And it gets denied by Simpson. I mean, if you're pushed in the goaltender, that's one thing. But, I mean, he threw the hit to Christopoulos and then took 3 steps and then ended up on top or underneath DiVincentis.
Yeah.
So, the Battalion who lead 3-1 with 3:15 to play left in the first period. Here comes Lukin. Down the left side board, sets it up to Jackson at the circle. Jackson drops back to the blue line, sends it across the zone to the right side. Back in front of the net, right on the doorstep, and Petrov gets denied. Petrov was skating through the slot, received a perfect pass from Mathurin, but he could not bury it. And now J.R. Avon going in. Avon trying to put on net. He doesn't even get the shot off before DiVincentis covers up the loose puck for the stoppage in play.
That was a beautiful save by Simpson that I think, you know, let alone normal people, I don't think 90% of the goalies in this league are making that save. He followed Petrov right across with speed, got his glove up and blocked that shot from going in.
Well, these were touted as the 2 best goaltenders in the Eastern Conference going into this series. And Simpson in the postseason has faced 432 shots, and he's got a 2.51 goals against average and .919 save percentage going into this game, not counting the 3 goals that he's given up in this one. Whereas DiVincentis has been a workhorse. He has faced 567 shots in the postseason, stopping 527 of them. Down the ice comes Lockhart towards the net. That's off the blocker of DiVincentis. Zito and Beck are back out on the ice, and with 2:20 to play, we're back to full strength on either side with a 3-1 North Bay lead. Beck through the neutral zone, over the blue line, sends it to the near side boards, and Beck is thrown down by Ertel. And now Bloom has the puck, up to Zito, coming in on the left wing side. Zito stopping in the corner. Now he's trying to feed it to Bloom. It's knocked away off the stick of Bloom, and that will allow Othman to get it out to the neutral zone. Now he gets it to Hayes, to the left side. Coming in, the shot save made. DiVincentis pushes it towards the end boards. Still in that area as the Petes find it. They send it to the point. It's Govro there. Former Battalion sends it in wide of the net, picked up behind the net by Othman. Othman goes to the far side, plays it back behind the net to Hayes. Hayes with a pass to Beck on the near side. Now he'll skate to the corner, goes to the circle, turns back, sends it back behind the net. Now the centering pass is there, and the shot is stopped by DiVincentis. 1:31 to go in period number 1. North Bay ahead 3-1.
Yeah, North Bay has been really dominating a lot of this game, but that was a good shift for the Petes right there. They had some good pressure, got a good chance high in the slot with a shot on net, but as DiVincentis does, he saved it, had the rebound drop right in front of him where he covered it up. Now, if we're talking about, you know, great goaltending prior to last game, their save percentages was near identical. Their goals against average was actually the same for the playoffs between these 2 goalies. So the differences now are what you've seen from one game.
That's right. Face-off won by the North Bay Battalion with 1:20 to go. Tarasevic has it, skating through the middle of his own zone, off the boards to Van Steensel, and then Van Steensel plays it back up ahead to Tarasevic, who gets over the blue line to the left side boards, taking the shot, save made, and the rebound is turned aside, sent down the ice by the Petes. Now there's a foot race to it, and Nelson beats out the Petes player who was coming off the far side boards. That was Othman there, and he outraced him to the puck. 55 seconds to go. in the first period. 3-1 North Bay lead as they get it up ahead. Tarasevich trying to find it. Going into the near side corner, looking for it. Sends it to the point to Winslow. Winslow skates to the middle, takes a shot. Save made by the goaltender Simpson, and he'll hold on to it for the stoppage in play. So the Battalion with 19 shots here in the first period. They have accumulated 188 first period shots over the course of the postseason, but they've given up 193 against.
They have been in a pattern of giving up more shots than they take. They have doubled up the Petes this game, and I have to wonder how much this has to be about Avon saying, oh, if we just keep putting pucks on net, we'll have some success.
Yeah, the Peterborough Petes are a shooting-happy team. 168 shots in the first period so far through the postseason. 183 shots for them in the second period of play, and that's really been their bread and butter throughout the postseason. Is they've also outscored the opponents in second periods of play as well by a margin of 19-11 going into this game. Zito finds the puck in the neutral zone with 5 seconds to go. Carries it over the blue line. His shot is blocked, and then Christopoulos with a chance at it, but he sends it just wide, and that will bring period number 1 to an end, but not before the rough stuff continues here in the corner. Couple of guys throwing hands here. The officials getting in the way, and it looks like cooler heads will prevail as we will go to the first period intermission. We hope you're enjoying it so far. Ben and Derek will break down the first period here, and we've got lots more on the way. You're watching the Frontline broadcast right here on YouTube, presented by Average Joe's.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items, or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
As a Canadore College alumni, you have access to perks. Canadore Alumni Perks. This is a lifetime membership that includes special access to great offers, opportunities to get involved, and so much more. Graduates can access discounts and special offers from businesses and hotels locally, across Canada, and internationally. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Keep in touch with Canadore's alumni office. Visit canadorecollege.ca/perks. Great things happen here.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
The Frontline Podcast, Season 3. Courtney Kenny, Matthew Sukram, Derek Lindemann, Bob Coles, and Ben Long bring you closer to your favorite teams like never before. Covering everything to do with hockey in the North Bay area, exclusive interviews with the North Bay Battalion staff and players, expert analysis on the OHL, NOJHL, and more, and keeping you up to date on all things Voodoos, Trappers, Lakers, and more. It's a new season, it's a new adventure. The Frontline Podcast Season 3. Available wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
And welcome back inside Memorial Gardens, where the Troops scored 3 times in the opening 10 minutes, and then Peterborough bounced back with one of their own, and that's how the first period ended, with the Battalion leading 3-1. Let's run down the scoring of that first period, as it only took 89 seconds for Josh Bloom to get the Troops on the board with his 3rd of the season from Kyle Jackson. At 6:17, Owen Van Steensel increased that lead to 2 with his 6th of the postseason from Nikita Tarasevich and Dom DeVincentis. And then at 9:18, Liam Arnsby his 6th of the postseason, made it 3-0 before the midway mark of the first. Tarasevich and Winslow's with assists on that goal. And then the Petes get their only goal in the power play at 12:51. It's Owen Beck with his 5th of the postseason, just tapping in a brilliant pass from Brian Zanetti and Samuel Mayer. Couple penalties for exactly in that first period. Sean Spearing went off for roughing at 10:23 for the Petes. Pasquale Zito took one of his first in that period at 10:47 for interference. And then Zito and Beck went off for roughing together at 15:34. Specialty teams, it was the Petes 1 for 2 in that first period. Meanwhile, the Troops 0 for 2 with the man advantage. Close in the face-off category today in that first, the Battalion winning just one more as they win 14 of the 27 draws of that first 20. Shots on goal totally dominating were the Battalion outshooting the Petes 19-9 in that opening frame. The other game tonight is the Western Conference Championship Series. That game is late in the first period, and it's the London Knights with a 1-0 lead over the Sarnia Sting in that game. Home team winning every game of the first 4 in that one, as it's deadlocked at 2, same as this series in Game 5. Only one game tonight in the NHL, and that is the Carolina Hurricanes hosting the New Jersey Devils. That's an 8 o'clock start in Carolina. Well, Ben, 3 goals in just over 9 minutes. A great start for the North Bay Battalion. Really looking dominating in that first period, especially 5-on-5.
Yeah, I mean, the one goal against them, Owen Beck had an open net from a nice pass across the ice. He's not going to miss that shot. Like, that's just not going to happen. I mean, it happens, but it's not going to happen. Where the rest of the play, where, like you're saying, 5-on-5, it was all North Bay tonight.
Yeah, all North Bay, and you got to think both in the offensive zone and the defensive zone, the forwards coming back strong to help out defensively and making it easy for the defense to make that perfect first pass and exit the zone with ease.
Yeah, and I said to Matt on air, I think that's where we're going to see the rest of the game. I said after they had the second goal, Erdl just made a good back check. We're going to see that third man staying high so that they're not getting odd man rushes against them. In the 5-on-5, you're not getting those chances against you, and then you have the extra man back for the breakout too.
Yeah, and you don't want to go into a complete shell with still 40 minutes in the game to be played. It's only a 2-goal game now. You got to almost think that you've got to keep your foot on the pedal, keep forcing the issue, knowing how important that next goal is going to be. Either you restore that 3-goal lead, or now it's only a 1-goal lead.
Exactly. That you know, 2 goals the most dangerous lead in the game of hockey, right? That's the saying, and that's exactly why is that you can't. Especially there's 2 whole periods left. If they give up 1 goal each period, even, that's not a whole lot. So they can't just sit back and rely on the lead that they have. With a goalie like Dom DiVincentis, I know that can be a tempting thing to do, is try and shut the other team down, but really, there's lots of hockey left to play. They can't stop playing hockey.
Couple incidences I want to bring up is involving the goaltenders in the first period. First off, Zanetti goes into the crease into Dom DiVincentis, and then on the other side, Ertel is falling on top of Simpson. Is that going to be something we continue to see in the next 2 periods with goaltenders needing to protect themselves?
If the refs don't start calling that, I think it's only going to get worse. And, you know, goaltenders are in a bit of a vulnerable position on the ice anyway. I think it's, you know, we need to be making sure that the refs are making calls on those plays to prevent that from happening. Otherwise, the players are going to start taking it in their own hands, and that's what we don't want to see as well, right?
Yeah, you don't want to see players start taking the rules or the law into their own hands because you don't know where it's going to go. Things started getting a little chippy, especially after that 3-goal lead. To me, tempers are finally hitting that boiling point here after in the 5th game. It's a 2-2 series, knowing how important this game is. Peterborough had it, let it go a little bit to that 3-0 lead. They've got to fight, and they're going to try and get some cheap calls going against the North Bay Battalion.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few, we started seeing it even in game 3 and 4 a little bit, where Othman goaded Van Steensel into dropping the gloves, and he got a penalty for, I think they gave him a roughing penalty or something like that. where Van Cecil drops the gloves, and then Oscar says, "Oh, what? I'm not part of anything here." And I hate those calls. I hate even seeing someone on like the team I'm cheering for do that. It's just really cringy. So to see that happen, that's what they've got to do, right? As Peterborough, you're coming in as the underdog. You got to take advantage of anything you can if they're hoping to beat the Battalion.
Exactly. A couple statistic points that I want to just touch upon first. Face-offs, 14-13 for the Battalion. That's something that is really good. Usually we see the Battalion around 35 to 40%. This time they're actually above 50%, winning one draw more than Peterborough, but they are getting involved in the face-off circle.
And that's the thing that I said it on air to Matt too. I keep telling you everything I said to Matt. Basically, that's all I'm going to do all these intermissions. But I always harp to everyone that's on air about we have to have the color commentator has to be done talking by the time the puck drop because face-offs are important. That's a part of the play-by-play that needs to be happening in the conversation of what's going on the ice. And during Bloom's goal right off the face-off, I was still talking when Bloom scored, and I ruined the call.
How dare you?
I was so bummed at myself when that happened.
And the other statistical category, shots, 19-9. North Bay dominating in that area. We heard the comment from Avon about how to get pucks on the net and get rebounds. Dom DiVincentis looking a little shaky. Simpson giving up some rebounds, and the Battalion taking advantage. They're really looking good, holding on to that puck and getting shots from high-quality scoring chances. Just taking a look at the scatter plot for the shots in the first period. Really, in that high danger spot, the Pete's really only getting 3 shots, one of those being the goal by Beck. And when you're looking at directly in front, you're looking at 10 quality shots for the North Bay Battalion. You know what? That's where it really looks. Early on in the series, I found Peterborough doing a really good job clogging up the neutral or the middle of the ice and keeping the shots to the outside. This game, Battalion are getting into that area and getting those shots.
So all through this series, I'm going to contradict you a little bit here. I don't think Peterborough's been that good about blocking up that area. North Bay just hasn't been good at going there for the second shot. They've been good at getting there for that first shot off. Simpson will make the save, and then there's nothing because there's no other Battalion players around. Where now they're actually getting those guys to those zones to touch those pucks to get second chances there, and I think it's really showing a difference on the scoreboard. Yeah,
definitely. And both goaltenders kind of making a couple awkward-looking saves with their backs. We see Dominic Enchantis. I don't think he makes the save, but it is blocked. But he's threw his back at one puck that was going to his left. He turns to block that with his back. He gets blocked. And then Simpson blocks basically a one-timer from McDonald with the back of the body. Those got to hurt. And you're throwing parts of your body that don't have padding.
Yeah. I've taken some pucks off the back because my body control on the ice is not particularly fantastic when I'm playing in the Trail Creek Old Timers League. But, that's not a fun time, especially when you guys like McDonald's shooting on you. That's going to be a little bit of pain there. But I think, you know what? Save of the game so far goes to Ty Nelson. Big glove save on the open net shot that he made there.
And that's the thing. The Battalion are really putting the effort in here. They're sacrificing their body to make sure that they come out of this on the positive end tonight, knowing how important this game is. To me, the look from between the benches is the urgency is there for the Battalion and not necessarily there for the Peterborough Petes. And that really showed in the first period with the speed and just the drive for those open pucks. Time and space, very important, and the Battalion are winning those battles.
Yeah, and I mean, another proof of that exactly is Lucan left last game with an injury from blocking a shot. He took a puck right off the top of the knee. First thing, one of the first shifts I saw him out there going down, blocking a shot again. When you've experienced that kind of pain in the last couple days, to just put that out of your mind and put your body in the way again, that's commitment to a cause.
Player to keep an eye on in this second period, Ty Nelson. After a late rush, he took a hit in behind the Peterborough goal, left to the bench, hunched over. I'll have to wait and see if he returns for that second period. Hopefully it's nothing too lingering, But to me, Josh Bloom has been a different player in this game, especially getting that goal and then right off the face-off, delivering a big body check.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those players where you see the skill level and the potential when he's out there. But some shifts, he just kind of takes it a step to the next level. It's like, wow, this guy is really good. And today he's been playing on that next level. Owen Van Steensel, another player who's, the last few games have been playing on that next level.
Yeah, Owen Van Steensel, one of those players that might get a look at a draft position this year in the NHL draft. And one other player just that had a good first period in my mind for the Battalion, even though he was in the penalty box, Pasquale Zito, really get involved under the skin of the Petes, and you hear the Zito chants coming out from the fans. This seventh man is into this game.
Oh, yeah. And that's, if you haven't been to other rinks, you don't know how big of a difference it is. But, man, they are loud here. We hear them in our microphones all the way up here that it takes over. My microphone, I can barely talk over them. Like, it's just, the volume is so great in this building.
Oh, you were talking?
Apparently.
Oh, I could barely hear that. Wow, we're just seconds away from puck drop here in the second period. When we come back, Matt Sucrum will rejoin Ben Long for all the action in this second period of Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Championship, in which it's the Battalion leading the Peterborough Petes 3-1 as you are watching Battalion hockey here on the front line.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay, to see how we can serve you and the community every day.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
Welcome back to Memorial Gardens. Matthew Sucrum with you here alongside Ben Long. The North Bay Battalion ahead 3-1 through the first 20 minutes. Now it's a matter of let's start to pile it on and not sit back and wait for the Peterborough Petes to find their rhythm.
Yeah, that's the big thing that they have to do here. And we talked about right before they got up here was there's a lot of hockey left. North Bay can't stop playing hockey because they have the lead. They have to keep going and keep trying to build that lead, but being conscious, make sure that third man stays high so that you're not getting odd man rushes against you.
Puck is dropped and we're underway. It's dropped back to Maillet and he sends it forward. North Bay take over with control of the puck inside the neutral zone. Tarasevic feeds it ahead to Arnsby. He dumps it down the ice. Played in behind the net by the goaltender Simpson. Whips it around the boards, and it's Armsby who stops it. Now he carries it into the corner. Tried to center it. It got blocked by a trio of Pete's there, and now they send it down the near side boards, trying to get it out. Carried up to the blue line and cleared out of the zone by Peterborough. 30 seconds in, and Nelson has control of the puck in his own zone. Feeding it down the right side boards to Tarasevich. He deflects it and sends it into the Peterborough zone behind the net. Govro's there. Now he sends it to Maillet in the corner. Maillet's clearing attempt is blocked. It gets to the line, shot back into the corner. Jackson looking to take over for North Bay. Feeding it along the end boards, but Beck gets in the way, breaks it up, and gets it out to the neutral zone. Carried down the ice by Avon. Over the blue line, poked off his stick. Avon follows the puck to the corner. Now he plays it behind the net. Pete still in control back there. Holding it there is Hayes, and he's being pressured in the corner now. He gets the puck up to the line. Smith diving across the blue line to keep it in, and sends it back along the end boards. And in the corner, Hayes is there. Hayes carries it up the boards, and now he sends it back to the corner for Robertson. He collides with Jackson, and that allows the Battalion veteran to kick it up to the blue line and get it out to the neutral zone. That's where Tarasevich finds it, and he dumps it down the ice. And the Petes now take over with control of their inside their own zone with 18:20 to play. They try to clear it. It's at the line. Winslow finds it. Winslow walking into the middle. Backhands it to the far side. The shot save made. Rebound chance denied as well. Simpson didn't even make the initial save. It was blocked in front, but then he certainly made the secondary save on the kick save there. Now it's the Peterborough Petes coming into the zone. Their shot goes wide. Picked up on the near side, Smith. He plays it in behind the net. Jackson picks it off for North Bay. He finds Winslow along the end boards. He takes a hit from Othman, but he protects the puck. Tries to get to the corner. That play's broken up. Sent along to the far side point. Shot coming in, and DiVincentis turns that one aside. It goes over the glass and out of play. 17:45 remaining in the second period. 3-1 North Bay lead.
Yeah, Peterborough have come out firing this period looking to make a difference, and you'd expect no less, right? Like, this isn't the first team playing the worst team. This is the Eastern Conference Finals. They are not going to lay down and die here, so they're coming out hard. At the other end of the ice, though, we saw Ertel do his best Joe Carter impression and swing for the fences, and the puck didn't quite get to the net.
No, it certainly wasn't able to touch them all there. North Bay bringing the puck out. It's McDonald down the ice, dumping it in, and Simpson has to make a quick save. Well, if you're enjoying the broadcast, you can show your support. Head over to patreon.com/Frontline Podcast and look at all the different perks we have for you and our loyal listeners and subscribers. Again, it's patreon.com/Frontline Podcast. Throw a few dollars our way to show your support to help us keep these broadcasts running, and we thank Jessica and Alex for joining in and being Patreon supporters from earlier this week. We really appreciate that. The Petes win the draw, and they clear it out to the neutral zone with 17:25 to play in the period. North Bay ahead 3-1 as Petrov has it. He dumps it down the ice. Now behind the net, Simpson leaves it for McCoy, but he gets knocked off the puck, but no, he actually shields it from McDonald, and it's sent around to the far side. Now at the point, Nelson keeps it in, sends it back to the near side, corner to Petrov. He tries to feed it in front of the net. That play got blocked. Now it's to the line. Mathurin sends it right back in front of the net. McDonald is there, and he scores! Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it! Big Mac puts the Battalion ahead 4-1 in the second period.
You know, I walked into my lunchroom at work today, and my boss's sons were there eating McDonald's. I said, what do you get? He said, cheeseburger. I said, no, you gotta have a Big Mac. So McDonald's gonna score tonight. Well, they didn't have a Big Mac, but he still came through.
Someone must have ordered one.
Yep.
And sent the good vibes this way. How about McDonald? Actually, what impressed me most about that was Mathurin keeping the puck at the line and keeping that play alive for the Battalion to keep going. And it was McDonald and Zito in front of the net, and those are two big guys to kind of push out of that area. So the Battalion, just like the first period, get an early goal here in the second. They make it 4-1. And now down the ice is Maillet over the blue line. The Battalion send it now down the ice. Simpson out of his net to play it. Flips it to the near side point. Keeping it in the zone is Arnsby. To the boards to Romani. Now he finds Wakely trying to move to the middle of the zone, but that got knocked off his stick. And now goes back to the near side corner. Maillet's there. Maillet fans on the clearing attempt. Now Romani finds it again behind the net. He's now pressured into the corner. Gives up the puck, but Wakely's there to help him out. Wakely now pressured in the near side corner, and there's a hard hit thrown by Ertel. Puck to the line, Kennedy's shot coming in, and the save is made by the Pete's netminder Simpson. 16:10 remaining in the second period. 4-1 North Bay, who are ahead 22-10 in shots.
Yeah, and that was textbook forward checking that you want to see out of the Battalion there. Always having a support guy coming in to pick up when you get pushed off the puck. And that was textbook saved by Simpson at the end on the shot off Kennedy, where hit his body, let drop down in between the pads where no one can get to it.
Now, you talked about the rebound control in the first period. We're seeing their blue liners sending a lot of pucks in as Christopoulos off the draw gets the control of the puck. This time he didn't send it in. He'll play it in behind the net to Arnsby, and Arnsby's pass to the middle is knocked away by the Petes, and it's sent all the way down the ice where Christopoulos will play it behind the net. But I wonder if that's part of the game plan now, where the blue liners are just saying, let's just put the puck on and have our forwards gobble up those rebounds. Here comes Van Steensel to the net, the shot, and the save is made by Simpson. Van Steensel has become a goal scorer, hasn't he? I mean, the puck is on his tape, and he just finds areas to fire it.
Yeah, I mean, he's been amazing the last few games, but as you mentioned, that strategy is putting shots on. They've been doing that the last, really basically since game 3, I've started noticing it, that even out of the zone, they're firing into the net. That they're firing it on net from everywhere.
North Bay off the draw, get control. Ertel centering it. It's off the skate of Bloom, and he couldn't get the shot away. And now it is the Petes who are going the other way. Pass to Avon goes off of his skate, and that allows North Bay to pick up the puck in their own end. Pass to the far side boards. Ertel in control, and he will feather it out to the neutral zone to Jackson. He's got speed going the other way. Goes to the right side. Now he'll carry it behind the net. Now a center it for Nelson, but he could get the shot as he could not control the puck bouncing towards the slot. He sends the puck to the line. Lukic shot just wide of the net, and then off the end boards. Bloom tried to deflect that towards the net, but that got blocked, and the Petes giving up a couple of golden chances there to the Battalion. They will come down the ice with it, and they skate in the zone with control. The puck is to the far side boards. Holding it there are the Petes. They play it to the line to Govro. He tries to get it in the corner. It's around the boards where Nelson finds it. Ty Nelson behind the net has control of it after taking a hit. He sends it down the right side boards to Ertel, and Ertel clears it out to the neutral zone. Petrov in front of his own bench will dump it in, and it's sent around to the near side boards. Picked up there by Paget. Sends it out to the neutral zone. North Bay back in control off the loose puck. They will dump it in. Racing towards it is Zito. Behind the net, he gets hammered by Govro. And Zito, that's going to draw a penalty, and Zito is slow to get up, and he is going immediately to the bench as the Petes now do take control of the puck. Man, that was a hard hit from the former North Bay defender in Cam Govro.
Yeah, and Zito is not in good shape right now. That he's being ushered right to the dressing room.
I mean, he kind of got up pretty quickly, but he is
up and then fell over again.
Ooh. Oh my goodness. Just seeing the replay makes you queasy. That's got to be 5.
I didn't catch that. It is 5 on the board right now.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, with the 5, then that means they can review it. And it could be called
a game. And the entire play will be under review. Man, you hope Zito is okay. The way he got up, though, I thought, okay, just kind of a bad hit. And then he was awkwardly skating over to the bench. And then he was kind of wobbly going off the ice. And that's the scary.
So now we have
that
Derek
is where you're scared for what's happening. Yeah, let's go down to Derek. Derek, I mean, Andrew Satchke, the trainer, was off the bench really quickly after that play, wasn't he?
Yeah, very quickly off the bench. Looked like it was a shoulder that Zito was favoring. he knew as soon as he got off from the ice that there was definitely something wrong with the shoulder, and he rushed to get back to the bench. And Andrew intercepted him, taking him to the dressing room straight away. And Govro is getting the 5 and will be out of this game. And you can just see the frustration on the defensive players from Peterborough, knowing that they don't have that time on the forecheck, that the Battalion are coming in heavy, and the D don't have the time to react. And this time, Govro allows Zito to get in there first and just delivers a big hit as Zito had his back turned, a very unnecessary hit, and that's the one that they're trying to take out of the game, Matt.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It was almost a no-nothing play. Zito was just going in ahead of Govro, and the speed just caught him, and Govro was in a bad position, and yeah, those are definitely the hits they're trying to get out of the game. I mean, Govro didn't have a clean hit either way. I mean, best case scenario, what's coming out of that? You hit him in the numbers, and he just bounces off the boards. Worst case scenario, that happens. Now, hopefully, it is just his shoulder. We're not going to speculate anything, but man, the way he went into the boards like that, pretty scary. So, here come the Petes. 2-on-1 the other way, and on the back check, Nelson breaks up the play as Hayes was getting the pass across the zone on that 2-on-1. And now here comes McDonald in the net, scores! Not sure if it was deflected by a player in front or if McDonald's going to get credit for that one. Either way, the Battalion score just 36 seconds into this 5-minute major, and they are now ahead 5-1.
And McDonald led the charge back to the bench, so I have to believe that he is the one that actually put it in the net. But, with a 5-minute major, that's what you want to be doing. You want to be scoring those goals and make them pay for that.
So earlier I touched on the fact that Kyle Jackson had an assist on the opening goal. That gives him 31 career playoff points. That puts him ahead of Luca Quino's 30 for 9th all-time. Kyle McDonald, who now has 2 goals, he is now ahead of both Wojtek Wolski and Nick Paul, and tied with Cody Hodgson for 2nd all-time in goals scored by a Battalion player in the postseason. And Kyle McDonald is also... There's a shot towards the net. There's a couple of chances there by Ertel. Puck still loose. They're trying to find it. There's a couple of players in the net now, and there's some hard cross-checking going on right on the doorstep. But the officials will finally blow the play down, and they'll break up that play. But here's the big thing. Kyle McDonald is now just 2 back of Mike Amadio for not only the franchise lead, but also the lead by any member of the North Bay Battalion in terms of goals scored in a career, in his playoff career.
And that's not bad company to be in.
Yeah, no kidding.
Looking for a future towards there.
And I think Kyle McDonald, who now has 14 goals, which leads the league right now in goals scored in the postseason.
Oh, we had the buzzer go after the puck was dropped because they're not sure what they're looking at down here, but they're calling the refs over to the penalty box there.
So,
the scores is on the phone.
That last goal by McDonald is his 6th playoff goal in this postseason, and that puts him in the league lead. I'm just checking what's going on in the London-Sarnia game. The London Knights have a 1-0 lead right near the end of the second period, and neither Winterton or Del Bell Blues has scored, so that means that Kyle McDonald is alone right now for goal scoring on the power play with 6, and that leads. So the Battalion and Pete's are paused because they're checking to see if that goal went in on that last play. Derek, what do you see from where you are?
You can't really see it. The puck is across the line at all. The pad looks like it's on top. You got a quick overhead view here, but the question to me is, did the player in the crease put his hand on the puck? That could be something that you're looking at as you take a look on the overhead right now. It's hard to tell if it gets across the line or not, as the initial save was there, and then he tries to flip it over, and we'll just see right here, as it looks like it's sitting underneath the pad.
Great hands, though. Oh, man.
To me, I can't see any evidence that there is a goal, but is the puck covered by Zanetti's hand, Matt?
Yeah, that's the big thing. Again, there's 3:46 remaining on the 5-minute major to go, bro. 13:06 to go in the second period. 5-1 North Bay lead. And
now, is that a penalty they can call by review? That if Zanetti comes in with his hand,
if he covers it, what's the ruling in the OHL on that if the player covers it on the goal line?
It's a direct penalty shot, but neither of those happen as the referee comes back. No evidence that the puck is in, so it's going to remain 5-1, Matt.
All right, so it remains 5-1. Kyle McDonald with his 14th goal of the postseason. That ties both Matt Duchene in 2009 and Barclay Goodrow in 2014 for the most in a single postseason by a Battalion player. So, as you mentioned, Kyle McDonald still in some good company there with those names. Here comes Petrov over the blue line to the middle. Dishes it down low. It's Kyle McDonald right there. Up to the half boards. Petrov to the blue line. Nelson to the left side. Jackson back up high to Nelson. Across the right side. Petrov tries to center it. The shot coming in towards the net. And it's turned aside. It was centered. It went off a skate. It bounced to the net. And then the shot was there from Van Steensel, but he couldn't bury it. Now Nelson's shot just goes wide from the point. McDonald picks it up. Sends it back to the line. Nelson gets it right at the board. Sends it across to McDonald in the left side circle. Waits with it. Finds Jackson. Fires it in. It's off the body of Van Steensel. He gets his own rebound. Sends it to the point to McDonald. Plays it off the half boards to Jackson. He'll skate to the middle. Jackson sends it in. And that save is made. Rebound right there on the doorstep. Van Steensel knocked down. And the play is blown dead. 2:40 remaining in the 5-minute major to Govro. He's out of the game. McCallum is in the box. 12 minutes remaining in the second period. North Bay up 5-1 in this contest, and that's the most goals they've scored, I believe, out of any game in this series so far.
In this series so far, yes. Second most that they've had in the playoffs.
They had a 6-0 win over Mississauga in Game 5 in the first round.
31-10 is the shots currently, and that's not the pattern that we've seen so far. That North Bay this high, but to have with still a 2.5-minute power play.
And Pete's have been held to one shot in this period. Here's Wakely on the power play, plays it to the near side boards. The play gets broken up, sent to the line. Romani keeps it in. Now it's in the middle. Wakely was there, twisting, diving, trying to control the puck. It comes back to the line. Winslow's there, sends it into the corner for Hertel. Hertel flips it along the backhand to the far side boards, and Wakely has it there. Into the corner for Romani. Back to the point. Winslow across the right side. Blue shot save made. The rebound goes out to the far side to Wakely. Plays it to the point to Winslow. To the right side. Blue shot coming in. Deflected and goes wide. It's Hertel behind the net. Trying to find the puck. He flips it to the boards to Bloom. Bloom walking in. Sends it to Romani in the slot. The shot goes wide. Hertel was there trying to get it, but he was deflected away from him. And he'll have to play it behind the net. They get it around to the far side. Up to the blue line. Back to the half boards to Romani. Romani dishes it off to the goal line to Wakely. Back up high to the blue line. Winslow to Bloom. Cross-zone pass to Wakely. Goes off his stick. He recovers it. Sends it to the point to Winslow. Winslow with 1.5 minutes on the power play. To the circle to Wakely. Wakely fans on it. And the puck is sent down the ice by the Petes. And that's the first time in this 5-minute major the puck has actually cleared the zone, or at least gone past the red line. 10:30 to play in the second period. 5-1 North Bay. Here comes Petrov down the right wing side. Dishes it off along the end boards To the left side, point to Jackson. To the half boards, Van Steensel. Back to the right side. McDonald's backhanded shot is turned aside by Simpson. To the line, Nelson. Left side, Jackson walking in. Shooting, save made. North Bay cannot get the puck back, and the Petes are going to break out on a 2-on-1. It's Robertson down the right side. Pass across the left side. Hoffman cannot find the puck, and then he gets thrown into the boards. And there's 3 Battalion players there digging it out from under Othman. And they will get it down the ice to Jackson over the blue line. Cuts to the left side. Jackson's into the clear. Going behind the net. Sets up to Nelson. He scores. Kid Nelly puts it in the net. 6-1 North Bay.
Man, this game is just going to be like point night for all of the Battalion. Just point after point after point. We're only halfway through the second period. I'm wondering if we're going to see Simpson pulled from this game. You can only let your starting goalie be shelled for so long before you decide, let someone else step in for a second.
6-1 North Bay lead. 9:48 to play. Ty Nelson with his 6th goal of the postseason. Nelson, Wakely, Romani, Van Steensel, Arnsby all had 5 goals going into this game. 3 of them now are up to 6. And the Battalion overall have 6 goals on the night with 10 seconds remaining on the 5-minute major. They've scored twice so far on the Govro penalty. Puck coming around to the near side. Ertel holding on to it. Plays it down low to Arnsby. Arnsby behind the net. Sends it to the right side, or to the left side. The shot comes in, and it's deflected off his skate. And McCallum, who was serving the Govro penalty, is out of the box. He plays it out to the neutral zone, and the Petes dump it down the ice. 9 minutes to play in the second period. 6-1 lead for the North Bay Battalion. Around to the far side. And now into the corner. Mathurin trying to battle there for it. McCallum doing his job for the Petes, just shielding it there. Arnsby gets involved, and he steals the puck from that area. Skates to the middle, drops it back behind the net for his lob. Nelson not only with his 6th goal, but that is his 23rd point of the postseason. And he is now tied with Brant Clark for the league lead in points so far in the 2023 playoffs. Again, Brant Clark hasn't played since the Battalion eliminated him and the Barrie Colts in Game 7 of the last round. So that just shows you how good of a postseason that guy was having.
Yeah, for 2 defensemen to be leading is kind of a funny thing also, but...
That's right.
When you have 2 special defensemen in the league at the same time.
Down the left wing side, Bloom firing it in, and the save is made by Simpson, and we will take a break. The Battalion leads 6-1 over Peterborough here in Game 5.
This period is brought to you by Canada Alumni Perks. Get information on special events and news, or access the Alumni Job Portal. Visit canadacollege.ca/perks for more information.
Well, Derek, Liam Stushka is in the game now, and he is the backup to the Peterborough Petes, a 5th-round draft pick in 2020. And Ben kind of mentioned it just a couple of minutes ago. How long do you leave Simpson out there when he's allowed 6 goals in this game?
Yeah, that was a question I was kind of asking myself. How long do you let Simpson go? This game is getting out of hand as the Battalion added 3 here already in this second period to get a 6-1 lead. You know that Game 6 is going to be back at home ice, and that's going to be another important game. You need Simpson to be ready, and that's just what the Petes are doing. It's almost like they're packing the bag just for this game and starting to get ready for Sunday, Matt.
Absolutely. We want to wish public address announcer Bob Coles a very happy birthday, who just announced on screen. Got a nice little shout out.
And former frontline boys.
There you go. 8:07 to go in the second period. 6-1 lead for the North Bay Battalion. Stushka is starting in his first game since March 25th. That was when the Peterborough Petes took on the Mississauga Steelheads, and Stushka got the win in that game.
And on the play here, Lucan had his helmet knocked off, so he has to go directly off, otherwise he's getting a penalty here, so the Battalion are shorthanded momentarily.
And the whistle blown, as it looks like Spearing is going to be penalized. after that play. We'll wait and see what the call is. So the Battalion going right back to the power play here. They just had a power play for 5 minutes. They are out shooting the Petes 16-2 in the period. And they are ahead 6-1 with 7:47 to go in the second.
Yeah, we've talked about how they can't let up from their offense. Having a 5-minute power play helps, but putting those pucks on net that they've been doing.
Stushka was a formidable backup goaltender, got into 19 games this season, was 11-7, had a 2.93 goals against average and 910 save percentage. Not bad numbers for a backup. The Battalion, as we said, have the power play now. They're fourth of the game. They're 2 for 3 so far. It is in the corner to Ertel. Ertel on the half boards. Plays it down low, back to the middle. Romani's shot stopped. Rebound to Wakely, and his shot is stopped as well. Sent around on the near side. Bloom gets hit on the boards. Romani trying to help him out as the puck is frozen in that area. Comes up to the line to Winslow, across to Wakely. Wakely trying to play it down low to Ertel. That gets knocked off his stick and deflected into the corner. 1:15 to play on the North Bay power play. Bloom finds the puck, skates to the middle, takes a shot. He sends it high. It's off the boards on the far side, and Wakely has control. Skates to the line, sends it to the boards, sends it back to the near side to Bloom. Bloom in the middle to Romani. Romani tried to kick it to the line. Avon blocked it, and Avon clears it. Romani gets it right back in the neutral zone. He carries it over the blue line, tried to play it around Dubois. That got blocked, and the Petes will dump it down the ice. 50 seconds remaining in the North Bay power play as Nelson comes through the neutral zone, finds Van Steensel over to McDonald. McDonald tries to play it to the middle. That one's blocked. North Bay ahead 6-1, but it's the Petes moving the puck ahead towards the North Bay end of the ice. Beck coming in, taking a shot. Save made by DiVincentis, and that goes all the way out to the neutral zone. 6:15 to play in the period. Check that, Robertson coming in. Gets sent to the board, sends it across the right side to McCoy. McCoy tries to chip it in front of the net. That got blocked, and North Bay will find the puck. Picking it up is Van Steensel with 6 minutes to play in the period. Van Steensel got a goal tonight. He's over the blue line, sends it to the left side boards. Back up high to Nelson, to the right side, Jackson. His shot gets blocked, and the Petes will break out again on the penalty kill. Here comes Robertson towards the net. Gets in front, and he scores. Robertson with a beautiful move to get around Nelson, and he puts it over DiVincentis, and now DiVincentis is throwing the gloves with one of the Peterborough players. DiVincentis and a Petes player are throwing it down. Nelson and Petrov trying to get involved. Christopoulos has a guy pinned against the boards. And DiVincentis has had enough of this Petes team taking liberties with getting too close to him after the play. Maillet and Nelson moved into the corner, and they were going at it. Lockhart and DiVincentis are still having words. And Lockhart steps on DiVincentis' glove and then kicks it away. And he's going to do it again.
That's twice that Lockhart has kicked his gloves.
And now Lockhart is telling the bench to just bring it. He was trying to coax them into coming off the bench and fight him. So he's done.
Yep.
Sign him up for Friday Night SmackDown, though. The Backlash is coming up this weekend. The WWE, I think, put him in the next Invitational.
Oh, looks like someone else is getting told to leave.
That's just a bizarre play, though. Robertson scores a really nice goal. Let's not forget that. Yeah. It's now a 6-2 game. He makes a beautiful move to get around Nelson, lifts it over the shoulder of DiVincentis, and then kicks the net off. And then after the goal,
goes right through DiVincentis, starts saying stuff.
Lockhart knocks him, pushes DiVincentis in the crease, and then the two of them just go at it. So DiVincentis will probably be penalized here for fighting, I guess.
I don't know.
Maybe roughing. Oh my goodness.
I can't,
But what was up with Lockhart? What is he doing chirping the bench when he's being ejected from the game.
Well,
didn't something happen in Game 4? You guys texted the group chat. The Petes got scored on, and then they went to the Battalion bench and were chirping the bench.
I don't
Courtney
remember
texted me
exactly.
something about, I'm not sure about chirping after you just get scored on.
Yeah, but I think that's the type of thing where Lockhart is one of those guys where part of his job is to get under the skin of the other team. If you're done for the game, well, that might be a prime time to try and just take that extra little jab at it. But I wasn't sure if Dom was even going to get suspended, like getting kicked out of the game.
I mean, he also...
His blocker was off and he was swinging.
Yeah. But then there's the fact that Lockhart starts kicking DiVincentis' equipment around.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can't score on it, might as well try to damage the equipment. And yeah. DiVincentis has looked anything but shaky, though, eh?
No.
I mean...
No, yeah. I think that was...
Oh, man. This is just the second playoff series between these two teams. It's not like they have a giant postseason rivalry either.
No, but any team like in the same conference as you, you're playing 4 or 5 times a year.
Let's see if we can maybe get Derek on the phone, but you're right. They have seen each other quite a lot. 4 times in the regular season, and remember, the Battalion swept them in the regular season. And right now, they are ahead by 4, trying to take
We're not getting Derek's
a 3-2 series lead, doing all they can to do that.
So there's a 5-minute on the board for North Bay for DiVincentis.
Yeah, let's go downstairs to Derek. Derek, what's the feeling like?
Don't have him. He has
Oh,
a
we
call
don't have
here,
Derek.
no.
Okay. Technology here, folks. If you want to sponsor the Frontline broadcast, we can get better equipment so that we can actually have our Between the Benches guy listening in the broadcast, and we can go down to him at any time. I think we've got him now.
We got him
okay.
now.
So, Derek, what's the mood like downstairs? I mean, this game, let's just say that escalated quickly after that goal.
It did escalate quickly after, and we just saw Pete's glove get thrown out onto the ice, and it looks like Robertson might have to come into this game as he's outstretching on the ice right now because DiVincentis got a 5-minute there, so we'll have to wait and see if he has to leave the game. So this could be a battle of the backups coming up shortly, but DiVincentis taking exception to the way Lockhart pushed him from behind, and that's what started the scrum in the goal crease area, and then Dom getting involved, throwing some punches. Lockhart not being the happiest, kicking a couple of up on the way off, saluting the crowd before he leaves. And we'll have to wait and see what all comes out of this. But right now, the only penalty up on the board is a 5-minute major to Dom DiVincentis.
I agree that DiVincentis should be penalized. However, why not just send any goon in towards the opponent's goaltender and coax him into fighting then?
Oh yeah, like that's
right? I mean, that's, I don't know, Derek. And the thing that surprises me is Lockhart is back out on the ice, and Lockhart is right now in the penalty boxes. So what, Derek? What do you think the sanctions right here are going to be against Lockhart?
It's hard to tell because I thought he should get at least a couple for the kicking of the glove and the way he carried on. It's going to be a 4-on-4 action when we get underway, as the referee just made the comment on his way over here. And I was just confused with how Lockhart's still in this game after what happened there, as it looks like a 2-minute penalty is up on the board now for Lockhart, Matt.
Okay. So
that's interesting.
Yeah. 5:44 remaining in the second period. 6-2 score. If you are just tuning in, you have missed a wild sequence. Tucker Robertson scored. Probably the goal of the night, highlight reel-wise. And then, as he scored it, he went into the net, knocked it loose, So DiVincentis is just kind of standing there in the blue paint, and then Lockhart comes over, bumps him, and the two of them start throwing the fist. Ensuing that brought up a line brawl. So now we're just trying to figure out what the penalties are going to be, who is getting assessed anything.
Matt,
Go ahead, Derek.
It's 2 minutes each for roughing is what I got told here from the referee down here on the ice. 2 for Lockhart, 2 for DiVincentis, both for roughing.
Okay.
So protecting the goalies is not a thing that we're doing in this league anymore, apparently.
Wow. Just wait. And now as the Battalion and Pete's are going to take the face-off, Othman and Winslow both slash each other, and then Othman drops the gloves, and he's in the box. No punches, I don't think, were thrown there. The officials got in the way pretty quick, but Winslow is now in the box, and so is Othman.
And they're sending them both out of the game. And I don't know whether that's going to be a 10-minute misconduct thing.
I mean, here's the thing, why doesn't anyone just come out and do this in the first minute of a playoff game then?
Well, the thing is,
okay, Othman's getting sent off too. Okay, yeah.
The idea is that I think that they both dropped the gloves off the face-off, so that's a 10-minute misconduct.
Yeah, you're right. Wow, okay, so it'll continue to be 4-on-4 with 5:44 left to play. 6-2 North Bay lead. The 2-minute minors are still on there for roughing, and those are the most lenient roughing calls I have ever seen.
Yep.
Here comes Lefebvre into the zone as we get back to hockey. It's in behind the net. The Pete's attacking, trying to put it in front. Mathurin gets in the way, breaks up the play, sends it to Arnsby. Arnsby down the right side. Coming over the blue line, into the neutral zone, getting around a hit. Arnsby drops it back for Tarasevich. Tarasevich plays it in the circle, throwing a hit in the process, but Arnsby could not corral the puck, and it's sent down the ice. On the left side, Robertson, who has just scored to make it a 4-goal game. He goes towards the net, knocked away from his stick, and now Tarasevich picks it up, and he'll go the other way. Coming down the ice, Tarasevich holding onto it at the blue line. It's knocked off his stick and sent back the other way. In the neutral zone, Jackson is holding it. Drops it back behind his own blue line. Now he brings it forward, drops back again, sends it to Nelson. Nelson across to Jackson, back to Nelson on the far side. Tries to play it out to the neutral zone. It gets there, but no Battalion in the area, and that allows the Pete's now to control it, and they will drop back. Maillet gets it poked off his stick. Van Stiesel was right there. Man, but it's knocked away from him quickly. Van Stiesel is probably the guy the Pete's do not want to see with the puck in the offensive zone right now, isn't he? Down the ice, Lukin with control of the puck. Lukin's got daylight ahead of him. Get going, kid! Through the neutral zone, up ahead to Van Stiesel. Back in front to Lukin, pulled down in front of the net, but not able to get the shot off. Now Jackson on the left side boards, to the blue line, to the right side, Van Stiesel. Van Stiesel takes the shot, but Simpson makes the save.
Not Simpson.
Oh, yeah, sorry. And all that, that's Stushka, who is in net now for the Peterborough Pete's. Okay.
Now,
37 shots on net for the Battalion, just 13 for the Pete's, and 4 in this period for Peterborough. Go ahead.
You know, I'm usually the first guy to defend the refs in our broadcast, but it is shameful the way that the Peterborough Pete's have taken liberties at DiVincentis.
That's my biggest issue with it.
And
like I said, why not just come out and do that at the beginning of the game then?
And even like the Urtel on Simpson at the start of the game, it wasn't as dubious as the guy pushed him right there.
Yep.
But still, like, that should have been 2 minutes for goalie interference.
That should have been where the bar was set.
Yes.
And now you can't even see where the bar is.
And a player fighting a goalie gets a 2-minute penalty.
Yeah, so Lockhart is out on the ice. I'm surprised he's still in this game.
Some shots taken on him as this game goes on.
And Petrov was serving DiVincentis' penalty So he is back out on the ice as we're back to 5-on-5. And it's Petrov who has the puck. It's a 2-on-1 into the zone. Petrov on the right side. Tried to dish it across. A nice defensive play there by Smith to get in the way of that and break it up. 3:19 to play in the second period. North Bay ahead 6-2. And again, they're leading 38-13 in shots. 19-4 alone here in this second period.
Now, I didn't hear the call, and I don't know if it's updated that you have to know whether Winslow and Osman are out for the rest of the game, or if it was just 10-minute.
10-minute misconducts.
Okay.
So that's why they're gone to the dressing room, because there's less than 10 minutes to play.
Yeah.
In the period. Ertel behind the net, kicks it into the corner, looking for Jackson. Jackson gets bumped off the puck, but now it's stuck in the corner. Paget down there for the Pete's, trying to dig it out. Ertel pressuring him. At the half boards, the puck is sent to the middle of the zone, and McCallum sends it out of the zone and down the ice. Picking it up, Paget, deflecting it into the far side corner. White is there, playing it behind the net to, try to get to Paget. Jackson breaks it up for the Battalion, and that allows Mathurin to have some room, but now he sends it back behind his own net to Hislop. He feeds it over to Jackson. Hislop with a big collision on McCallum in the far side corner, and now the clearing attempt is picked off by McCallum, but Ertel steals it right back, and that will allow Mathurin to move the puck down the ice and dump it in the Pete zone. The Pete's dump it right back down the ice, right towards Steven Chentis, and he will hold on to it for stoppage and play. And Owen Beck got a little close to Steven Chentis at the end of that play, and Hislop stared him down pretty good. 2:17 to go in the second period. 6-2, North Bay lead.
Yeah, and that's like with that back play right there. The puck was loose, and as an opposing player, you can't let the puck just sit open around the net. You have to go for those. So you can't really fault him, but man, he did get in there. And if I was North Bay, I would not be looking too kindly on that at this point in the game.
Absolutely. So not only was Game 4 the first time the Petes have lost at home in the postseason, they're now 6-1 on home ice, but that was also the first time they have had a game decided by more than 3 goals. They have played, so not only have they played good postseason games, but they have played tight postseason games.
Yeah, and that's with a team like with Peterborough, you're going to see that, right? You're going to see a lot of low-scoring games. Same with a lot of what North Bay's play. You see a lot of low-scoring games, but North Bay has a lot deeper offense coming with that secondary scoring where Peterborough doesn't have quite the same threat that way.
The Battalion are 6-3 on home ice and 4-4 on the road. Play underway as Ertel finds the puck just inside the blue line. He tries to get it out. Beck stops it and sends it, or it did get out, but Beck sends it right back in. Sent around to the back of the net. Picked up there by Mathurin, and he gets it out. He sent it off the body of Beck there. And then Beck brought it right back in, down the middle. His shot is blocked, and now North Bay find the puck, and they'll go the other way. 3-on-2 into the zone across to Arsby. Arsby tries to take a shot, but that's blocked. But he follows the puck behind the net. Finds it back there. Sends it to the point to Lukin. Lukin skating across the blue line, gets pressured at the line, and he cannot maintain the zone, and so he'll have to chase it to the neutral zone. Finds it, dumps it right back in. Peterborough dumping it right back out. And it's Avon coming in. Plays it to the middle. The shot stopped. And then a secondary attempt is denied as well. That was a close play as Perdeller was right on net there on that late 2-on-1. Puck still inside the North Bay zone with a minute to play in the period. Christopoulos looking for it. Behind the net, he finds it. Sends it to the right side to to the line. McCoy keeps it in for the Petes, barely. And now poked off his stick and sent out. Now McCoy following the puck back into the zone for the Petes. Gets hit hard into the corner. Keeps possession. He tries to center it. That gets chipped and sent to the line. Lefebvre is there. He sends it across to the far side. Bounce down to the point. And off a couple of bodies, it's sent down the ice. Chasing it is McCoy. Romani all over him. On the near side boards, Wakely joining into that attack. Wakely and Romani get it out of the area. Centers for McDonald. McDonald drop pass to Romani. Shot save made. Rebound chance. Goes off the side of the net. And then the Pete's netminder Stushka finds it and holds on to it for the stoppage of play. 12.9 seconds to go in the second period. North Bay had 6-2.
And this is a great shift by the Romani-Wakely line, which had McDonald out with them there for that shift. But earlier in that shift, Wakely made his fantastic defensive play against Perdeller when it was almost a 2-on-1 with Avon.
Yep.
That without Wakely, that could have very well been a goal. Turned this to a 3-goal game.
Petrov off the draw, throws his man down on the far side. Then he gets tripped up trying to take the puck. And now there's some chatting going on right in front of the net between Petrov and Paget. And as the buzzer goes to signal the end of the period, the officials get in between Paget and Petrov. And Petrov will go to the corner where the Battalion players exit. But now behind the play, DiVincentis is skating through the neutral zone, and Robertson has some words for him. Neither team is in a hurry to get to the locker room right now. The Petes have finally started to exit, and now the Battalion will take their leave stage right as well. So, this could be a wild third period. The Battalion looking to take a 3-2 series lead. They have a 4-goal lead here in Game 5. We'll see if they can maintain that in the third period. You're watching Battalion and listening to Battalion hockey right here on the Frontline broadcast. Derek and Ben will be right back for a breakdown of the second period. I think you guys have your work cut out for you here.
Yeah.
In a second period intermission. Don't go away. Stay tuned. Lots to come here on the Frontline broadcast presented by Average Joe's.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items, or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
As a Canadore College alumni, you have access to perks. Canadore Alumni Perks. This is a lifetime membership that includes special access to great offers, opportunities to get involved, and so much more. Graduates can access discounts and special offers from businesses and hotels locally, across Canada, and internationally. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Keep in touch with Canadore's alumni office. Visit canadorecollege.ca/perks. Great things happen here.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
The Frontline Podcast, Season 3. Courtney Kenny, Matthew Sukram, Derek Lindemann, Bob Coles, and Ben Long bring you closer to your favorite teams like never before. Covering everything to do with hockey in the North Bay area, exclusive interviews with the North Bay Battalion staff and players, expert analysis on the OHL, NOJHL, and more, keeping you up to date on all things Voodoos, Trappers, Lakers, and more. It's a new season, it's a new adventure. The Frontline Podcast Season 3. Available wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
And welcome back in Memorial Gardens, where the Battalion now with a 6-2 lead after 40 minutes of play. Second period, a lot similar scoring-wise to the first, where the Battalion strike 3 times in the first 10 minutes before the Petes do get one back in the period. So let's take a look at those 4 goals that were scored in the second period. Kyle McDonald gets his first of the night, 13th of the postseason at 2:57 from Tanias Mathern, making it 4-1. And then on a 5-minute power play, the Battalion strike twice. First off, Kyle McDonald with his second of the night, 14th of the postseason from Ty Nelson at 6:15. And then later in the same power play, Ty Nelson strikes for his 6th of the season from Kyle Jackson and Matvey Petrov at 10-12, making the lead 6-1 at the time. And then Tucker Robertson gets one back for the Petes, his 5th of the postseason from Connor Lockhart at 14-16. Penalties seem to be the story of the second period, though, so let's try and run those down quickly. First off, a checking from behind call against Cam Govero at 5:40, in which he hits Pasquale Zito into the end boards, and Zito getting up and rushing quickly off the ice, favoring his right shoulder, so we'll have to wait and see the extent of that injury. He has yet to return and not expected to return in this game. Sean Spearing went off for the Petes at 12-13 for tripping. Connor Lockhart went off for roughing at 14-16, along with Dom DiVincentis at 14-16. And then on the next face-off, Othman and Winslow exchanged words and face washes, and both of those pick up 10-minute misconducts. So they'll still have about 6 minutes left to serve in those 10-minute misconducts to start the third period. Face-off still even, as now the Battalion 24-23 in the face-off category. Meanwhile, shots still in favor of the big time of the North Bay Battalion. The second period, 20-5 were the shots in favor for the Battalion, and in the game it's 39-14 for the home side. The other game in the OHL tonight in the Western Conference Championship final, 5 minutes already gone in the third period there, and it's now a 3-1 lead for the London Knights. The Knights, with a victory tonight, if they hold on, will have an opportunity to clinch the West Sunday afternoon. That's a 2 o'clock start back in Sarnia. Home team winning each of those games so far in that series. But here, it's a 6-2 lead for the home side North Bay Battalion. Game 6 will be scheduled for Sunday night, 7:05 start down in Peterborough from the Memorial Center. And if necessary, Game 7 will be back here Monday night, 7 o'clock from Memorial Gardens. Hopefully we don't get there if the Battalion can pull one off. Looking in the NHL tonight, already through one period of play in Carolina, and the Hurricanes and the Devils still scoreless in that one. Well, Ben, penalties. The dangerous one to start, Cam Govero taking a shot at Zito as he had his back turned.
Yeah, I mean, it's been said, on the air a bunch of times already. Those are the type of hits we want to eliminate from the game of hockey. You got to give those penalties when there was things. North Bay took advantage of it, big time on the power play. But yeah, those penalties got to be called. You don't want to see those hits. You don't want to see guys injured like that. Nothing about that play was good.
No, nothing about it, especially Cam Govero being a former North Bay Battalion, even though he did not play with Pasquale Zito anytime during his stay here in North Bay. And you could just see the frustration gathering on the faces of the Pete's defenders at that time on the bench. You could hear them saying that we got to start being more physical and trying to get those pucks quicker at the back end. And then Govero waits for Zito to pick that puck up before hitting him. And we've seen Govero here at home when he played for the Battalion, and he's been a hard hitter his whole career.
He can lay the body when he wants to. He really well. Like I said to Courtney down in Peterborough, he laid a couple really big hits, and I said this was the side of us trading Zito that I didn't want to see. I know we traded him to the other conference, but then he got traded back, and that was what we don't want to see coming out of him. Was he's got that potential to cause actual damage, and we don't want to see that happening, and it's happened tonight now.
It has. Just quickly I want to just touch on the one penalty there. Othman and Winslow getting the 10-minute misconducts before we talk about the other major scrum of the second. We saw Othman coax a Battalion player into dropping the gloves. Was it Van Steensel? Into dropping the gloves and then skating away. This time, him and Winslow exchanging face washes and the linesman jumping in before anything happens. That seems to has been boiled over, but a good trade-off for the Battalion.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks to lose Winslow because he's a solid defenseman, but when you have 6 other solid defensemen out there to get Othman off the ice for 10 minutes, that might be a worthwhile trade.
It is, and I think things are boiling over, and it really boiled over after the goal by Tucker Robertson. A beautiful goal as he tucks it over the shoulder of DiVincentis, but then afterwards it is Connor Lockhart that gives a little shove to the back of Dom DiVincentis, who takes exception of it and gets involved in a little bit of a rough stuff. That's something you don't want to see if that's your star goaltender out there.
No, for sure. I mean, you don't want to see that kind of. You want to see the league protecting goalies a lot more than we have, and I've said that with Matt on the air. So I'm usually the first one on this broadcast to be like, oh, now, like the ref has to make this call or shouldn't be making that call, and I'm usually the one standing up for refs here, but it's been shameful the way the refereeing has not protected goaltending in this series. Like even that, Ertel got shoved in the crease and found his way on to Simpson. That should have been a goal.
Sure, he got a little help, but it gets exaggerated a little bit.
Exactly, and you got to be protecting the goalies. They're in a vulnerable position already. We can't have guys taking liberties at goalies in this league. This is a development league, and these kids have some of them have bright futures. To have some random guy come out and taking a shot to help his team win a game, we can't have that. That doesn't help the integrity of the league in any way, and I think that the league needs to be looking at that.
And I wonder if the league looks at any of that incident post-separation as Lockhart kicking some equipment of the North Bay Battalion and then letting the bench know he was there on his way out. That's something that has to be eliminated, especially after some of the instances we've seen in the past years here in the OHL.
Yeah, I know. I've seen them make suspensions on players doing that type of thing in the past few years where guys are making gestures towards the other bench or, the way they're acting on the ice after a fight or after a little play like that. The fact that he kicked DiVincentis' glove on his way towards the bench, turned around, came back, kicked it again into the corner, and then on his way actually off the ice started making gestures towards the bench. I think the league has to look at that and say, this is not what we want our game to be.
No, and the only shower he gets is a popcorn shower underneath the fans, but he does make his way back to the penalty box and really only gets 2 minutes for roughing, so he's still in this game and could be a factor later on, knowing if things continue to boil over. Things keep going the way it is. Do you see Ryan Houlihan taking DiVincentis out of this game in favor of Charlie Robertson to protect him for Game 6?
I understand that question and where that's coming from. Because Peterborough has the ability to score goals in a hurry too, I don't think we will. I don't think DiVincentis is coming out unless he's forced to leave the game from injury or gets kicked out for fighting or something.
Yeah, we've seen it in the past. Not the DiVincentis play, but when the North Bay has had a few big leads in the third, I recall one especially against Sudbury down the stretch. We were talking like it was over in the second period, and Sudbury coming back to tie things up in the third, forcing overtime. Battalion do win, but they have been known to give up leads in the third period, and the Petes do have some firepower.
And I think it's not necessarily Battalion have done this. Team after team after team have done this. You're this high up in the game going into an intermission. You come out thinking, oh good, this one's in the books. We've manhandled them so far. This game's over. We don't have to work that hard. Well, a couple quick goals. If they score 2 quick ones, it's a 2-goal game. If they score one more after that, pull a goalie and you get a goal, then it's tied. A 4-goal game becomes tied, heading to overtime in a hurry.
And that's really the key. You've got to keep it out of reach if you're the North Bay Battalion. If you get to a situation where Peterborough has an opportunity to get the goaltender out and get that extra attacker to score a goal, anything can happen. If you're Houlihan, what's the message to your team in the dressing room right now in between periods?
I think the first thing that you're wanting to say is, I don't know whether it's either going to be keep it cool. We don't need suspensions. We don't need injuries. We don't need anything. We're winning this game. But the other thing that you're saying is, he may be saying, make sure we're protecting our guys out there. If they're taking cheap shots at guys that are vulnerable, we can't be allowing them to injure our players for the next game.
And then on the flip side, head coach of the Rob Wilson of the Peterborough Petes, how does he motivate his team to get back into it? Or do you just really say, let's pack it away and let's regroup for Sunday?
I think at this point, what they're looking for is moral victories. If they can score a couple goals, they can, if they can score a couple goals now, to know that they put 4 past Dom in one game, is a big thing. He doesn't let more than 4 goals in very often. So if they can say, if they can take that moral victory of, maybe they did outscore us, but we scored a lot too, that gives them some power going into the next game. Where, I think you say we don't have anything to lose, because if they lose this game, the series isn't over, but they're in for a hard one.
Definitely a hard one, and that one will be Sunday evening, 7:05. We'll have it here on the front line. Not sure who's going down yet to the game, but we'll wait and see. We'll have it here on the front line. You can listen to it live as we will cover Game 6 from Peterborough from the Memorial Centre. The 7:05 start down there on Sunday. But right here, 20 minutes remaining as the Battalion with a 6-2 lead headed into the third. When we come back, Matt Sukram will rejoin Ben Long for the third period action here on the front line as it's Pete's Battalion.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay, to see how we can serve you and the community every day.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
Welcome back to Memorial Gardens. I am Matthew Sukram alongside Ben Long. We've got 20 minutes left on the clock, and the North Bay Battalion are ahead 6-2 here in Game 5, but I think the officials are going to have their work cut out for them in this third period, or it'll be the calmest thing we've seen all night.
It's not going to be calm. I would love to see that be the way this period plays out, but it's just not. Yeah.
These two teams, there's too much on the line. It's Arsby and Beck in the middle to take the draw. Puck is dropped and we are underway for the third. In the neutral zone, Van Steensel pokes it ahead. Down the left wing side, it's into the corner. McDonald flips it around to the far side. Breaking up the play is Paget, trying to get it out. That's blocked. McDonald back in the corner. He finds Van Steensel, skates in front of the net, lifts it up to his own stick, and then he bounces it off the body of Stushka, and it stays out. Now it's Van Steensel below the circle taking a shot, and the save is made by Stushka, and that is the 39th shot on net by the Battalion. Check that, the 40th shot on net by the Battalion in this contest.
Yeah, they've been putting that puck on net and,
right from the get-go.
Hoping for maybe a shaky goalie on the other end or something.
Stushka is 4 for 4 since coming into the game. They feed it down low, back in the middle. His lob shot is blocked. It goes off a skate into the far side corner. He leaves it there as Jackson will now go into that area, puts it behind the net for Hertel. He tries to play it out in front, and Stushka will hold on to it for the stop. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Stushka has had a fight earlier in this season against the Ottawa 67.
I believe he did.
So I think maybe he learned his lesson. That's why when DiVincentis was throwing the gloves down, Stushka was just staying in between his own pipes.
Well, the playoff hockey's different than regular season in that respect, too, right?
Into the neutral zone. Puck picked up by Kennedy. Dropped back to his lot. Now it's back to Kennedy in front of his own net. Winslow still in the box, as well as Othman. Serving off the remainder of their 10-minute misconducts. Into the neutral zone as White controls it. Sends it down the left wing side. It is Maillet. Holding it in front of his own bench with 18:34 to play in the third. He tries to dump it in, blocked by Christopoulos, who sends it down the left side for Petrov. He comes over the blue line. Petrov taking the shot, and the save is made by Stushka. 6-2 North Bay lead, 18:24 to play.
Yeah, and North Bay is still keeping up that pattern of dominating this game. I mean, it's not been chippy yet this period, which is, I kind of expected it to be right off that first face-off. Maybe they will be, cooler heads will prevail for the rest of this game.
We've seen that happen during both the Mississauga and the Barrie series, where the animosity was building, and then they get sent to the locker rooms and they come out and, you know, it feels like all the weight has been lifted a little bit. So that's why I think unless there's a big hit thrown, I think this one might be even keeled. But we'll see what happens when Winslow and Othman get out of the box.
Yeah.
17:50 to go. The Petes dumping the puck back down the ice. Lukin is chasing. In behind the net, plays it to the far side. And out of the zone is Arnsby. Down the right wing, over the blue line. To the circle, the shot save made by Stushka, and he holds on to it. And here's the other thing with the way that the Battalion have built their lineup tonight. They're playing seven defensemen deep. So even though Winslow is off the ice, they still have 6 defensemen and can roll through their rotation. Yeah. Whereas the Petes are down by 4, and one of their best goal scorers in Brennan Othman is off the ice. And that's the trade-off, and it's not a good one if you're the Peterborough Petes.
No, that's what we're saying.
Oh. There's a shot off the draw, and Romani sends it off the body of Stushka, and it goes high. Stays in play. We'll get to Ben's thought in a second as the Petes look to bring it out. Beck into the neutral zone. Gets it at the blue line. Poked away off his stick, and North Bay control, but it's Arnsby backtracking to his own end. Plays it behind the net for Nelson. Down the right side for Arnsby. Back across to Lukin. Skating through the neutral zone. Leaves it at the line for Van Steensel. Back in the corner for Lukin in deep. Sends it in front to Romani, and a stop is made. And then behind the play, there's a hard hit thrown. Lukin is down, and they are finally going to blow the whistle. His gloves came off on the hit. Lost his stick in the process. There's the big hit, but the Battalion are not retaliating.
No, and I don't know if that's... I mean, I don't think they want to. Let's see. Oh, that was... They just showed a reaction on there, and that was not a good hit.
Can they not review that one? Can we see if we can get Derek in? But
I don't know if they can actually review it. Derek is... So the way the system works now, Derek has to call up to us.
Someone text the guy. So we'll see. Lukin is slowly getting up. He's being assisted by Andrew Satchku. Now he's onto his feet, and he's skating under his own power, so he appears to be okay. But again, the Battalion just did not retaliate. And do you think that's something that Ryan Olahan said, guys, we need to keep our heads about ourselves in this third period?
I think there was probably a little bit of that. I think it was in the middle of a play, and it was away from the puck, so I don't think anyone saw the hit particularly happen. So I think it was probably a combination of both of those things that...
And there's no call coming with 16:59 to play. We hope you're enjoying this game. I want to say hi to Jason from Timmins. It is his birthday on Sunday, so he's hoping the Battalion get him a win tonight, and then a series win on Sunday would be nice as well, as the Battalion ice the puck down into the Pete's end. 6-2 lead for the home side. And just like the Eastern Conference semifinals, the Battalion trying to take a 3-2 lead on home ice in game number 5.
Yeah, and it's looking like they're getting there as long as they don't have a collapse here in this third period.
White off the draw, sends it in. The shot is stopped by DiVincentis, and he'll hold on to it. And that's just the 14th shot on net by the Peterborough Petes with 16. Check that, the 15th. Oh man, yeah. I guess I gotta have a little patience here and wait for them to change it.
After the whistle was blown there, Pradella kind of found his way in and was standing next to Dom.
So the mind games continue.
They're trying to get under the skin, and I don't think I don't think you can let that happen.
McDonald tripped up going into the zone. No call there. Really just inadvertent contact by two guys going in with speed as the Petes send the puck down the other way into the North Bay zone. Behind the net, there's a hard hit thrown as Hislop gets knocked down. And the Battalion are able to get the puck out of the zone and dump it down the ice. Very quickly, the Petes recover, but now they can't get it out. Broken play at the line, but now the Petes do find it, and they'll skate down the ice with it. White putting it on net. And the save is made by DiVincentis. It goes to the far side. Mathurin trying to play it out. He's got some support there with Jackson, and Jackson sends it down the boards, and they get to the neutral zone to Ertel, and Ertel dumps it down. 15:50 to play in the third period. 6-2 North Bay lead. The Petes through the neutral zone. Down the ice, putting it on net. Save made, rebound, and McCallum can't get the shot off, but he does find the puck to McCoy. The shot, and the glove save is made by DiVincentis. Winslow and Othman are expected to come out of the box here. They just rang the buzzer, but the officials don't want them leaving just yet.
Oh, Winslow is being told by the ref that he could go.
So he's allowed, and they're going to wait for Winslow to get to the bench before Othman is allowed out, and now he is. And Othman will join the guys on the ice for the draw inside the North Bay zone to DiVincentis' blocker side. Taking that draw, Lefebvre puts it in the corner, and there's a hard hit thrown. Mathurin into the glass. McCallum the culprit. Mathurin is okay, and play continues as the Battalion dump the puck down into the Peterborough zone. 15:20 to go as the Petes get it out, and Lucan back on the ice. Nice to see him out there after taking that hard hit earlier in the period. Lucan has the puck behind his own blue line. Sends it down the left side for Petrov. He comes in, takes the shot. Glove save made by Stushka. 15:07 to go in the third period. 6-2 lead for the Battalion.
And there's some silliness going on there with Petrov and one of the players over there. Just waving to some fans in attendance here down on the behind the Pete's bench, trying to make some noise at the players there with horns and noisemakers there.
Well, if there's any time to do it, it would be now. Bring those noisemakers, right?
Yeah.
15 minutes to go as the Petes bring the puck down the other way. They dump it in, but the Battalion get it right back out quickly. Nelson up to Van Steensel. Van Steensel dumps it down the ice. And on the sharp angle shot from Arnsby, it's stopped by Stushka. Down the point, Nelson fires it in, and Stushka makes another save. And he is 9 for 9 since coming into the game. 14:43 remaining in the third. 6-2 North Bay lead.
Yeah, and he didn't have an easy task made. He was almost right away from him coming in was a penalty kill. So he has a couple good chances on him in that first block of shots.
Face-off won by the Battalion. The puck goes to the far side boards into the corner. Arnsby overskates the puck. It gets kicked back to the half boards. And now to the line. It's over the stick of Nelson. Couldn't control the bouncing puck. So he tracks it down in the neutral zone, but then he sends it over the boards and out of play. 14:28 to go. Go ahead.
So Peterborough's been playing a lot more physical. You may have heard in the last a few plays ago that I started laughing mid-play. And it was on a line change. Peterborough made a couple big hits, and then on the way to the bench, he knocked one of his own players down, too.
Well, we are approaching what could be A big number on the shot clock for the North Bay Battalion. They're at 45 right now. As the Petes have control of the puck, they turn it over. Bloom sends it up ahead to Romani. Romani in over the blue line. Tried to get it back to Bloom, but that got blocked, and now the puck is in the far side corner. Jackson took a stick in the mouth. That's going to be a high stick called as the Petes touch the puck behind the net. White will go off, and the Battalion will get their 6th power play of the game. They are 2 for 5. Both of those goals coming on that 5-minute major in the second period.
Yeah, so we have seen a lot more calls in their favor than we had previously.
That's right.
But, I don't know, some of them, all of them have been legitimate calls.
Yeah.
There maybe could have been more even.
So the Battalion at 46 shots are actually 10 off their postseason high. They had 56 shots this year, April 20th, 2023 against Barrie in Game 4. Jackson across to the right side, back to the middle. McDonald's shot just goes wide. Chipped into the corner and then sent back to the point. Jackson has it. Played to the far side to Petrov. Petrov walking in. Drops it back to Jackson at the circle. The shot, and that goes wide. Off the boards, up to the line. Nelson skating to the middle, across to the right side. Petrov with the shot, and that's blocked by Stushka. Back to the line, across to Jackson on the left side. Jackson feeds it across to the boards to Petrov. He skates up high, sends it to Nelson. Nelson to the left side to Jackson, walking into the circle. Jackson whips it around the boards. It travels all the way to Petrov at the line. Petrov holding it across the left side to Nelson. Nelson walking down the left side, up high to Jackson. Back across to the right side boards to Petrov. Still inside the blue line, he feeds it to Jackson in the middle. Jackson shot, save made. Stusha gives up the rebound but kicks it in the corner, and the puck comes back up high along the left side to Nelson. Nelson below the goal line looking for Van Steensel. It's out of his reach, but the Petes can't clear it. At the point, it's Jackson again. To the left side, Nelson's shot is blocked by Spearing. North Bay get the puck back. They cycle it again to the point to Jackson. Jackson to the right side, Petrov. He takes a shot and that goes high. 30 seconds remaining as the puck goes out of play. 30 seconds remaining on the power play. 12:28 to go in the period. It's a 6-2 North Bay lead. They are at 48 shots now. The last time they had 50 shots in a game, in a playoff game in North Bay was back in 2022 when they took on Kingston. That was game 2 of the Eastern semis, and they had 51 shots on net on that night.
Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say that they're going to beat that total tonight.
That was on May 8th, 2022, almost a year to the day. In behind the net, Christopoulos has it. Feeds it down the right side to Wakely. Up to the blue line to Romani. Across the zone to Ertel. Back up high. They try to pass it back down low. It's blocked by the Petes, and they send it down the ice. And White has 3 seconds before he can rejoin his teammates. Now back to 5-on-5 with 11:55 to play in the third. It's a 6-2 lead for the North Bay Battalion. Wakely looking for it in the neutral zone. Tries to feed up ahead. That's blocked. And Maillet will skate the other way. Maillet almost getting hooked there. But the Battalion got it. No, they're not going to get away with it, as it was the official behind the play who put the arm up. So with 11:38 to go, the Petes will go back on the man advantage. It will be their 3rd power play of the game.
Yeah, I mean, calls like that they got to be making at this point in the game. If you're up by 4 goals, taking hooking penalties is not something you should be doing. You just can't be making that play.
Yeah, I was talking to Cogeco TV analyst Greg DeBerge, and he said when he was playing and when he was coaching, when you're up by 4 or more, you do something that's called code blue, which is you just keep taking it. You don't dish it back.
Yeah.
Right? Don't give them an easy way to get back in the game. And to the Battalion credit, I don't think they have, but that play there, you kind of say, probably should have kept your stick down a little bit. There's a chance at the side of the net, and Hoffman sends it wide in the corner. Now back behind the net. Lukin hooked and pulled down, but no call coming there. The puck goes to the boards, to the point. Now fed back to the slot. That's Robertson there to the right side. Hoffman, he gets denied. Kick save made by DiVincentis. It comes back to the near side point. Lockhart across to the left side to White. White walking into the circle. Now he goes back up to the line. White still has it across the Lockhart now. The pass down low to Othman on the right side. Taking the shot from the sharp angle. That gets stopped. Picked up by Van Steensel and sent down the ice. 1:15 to go in the Pete's power play. Their third of the game. 10:49 to play in the period. And I think the Pete's are getting called for too many No, the Pete's are getting called for slashing here. It was the player that was already on the bench that gets the call. I believe Maillet, who's skating across. Check that, Lefebvre. And so the Pete's power play ends prematurely. 50 seconds is the differential between the penalty calls. And so we'll have 4-on-4 for a minute 10, and then North Bay will have their 7th power play of the game.
And an update that we've just got is Zito has gone to the hospital with his arm in a sling. So that's not a good thing to hear.
No, not at all. That's really unfortunate for Pasquale Zito, who has been a big part of this Troops postseason run. And the puck goes in towards DeVincentis, and he'll hold on to it for the stoppage in play. Last Battalion goal came at 10-12 of the second period, scored by Tally Nelson, his 6th of the postseason and his 23rd point overall. And for his career, that gives him 33 points. Check that 34 because he had an assist on an earlier goal, and now he is tied with Kyle Wood and Nick Paul for 6 on the all-time playoff point list in Battalion franchise history. So joining a couple of former North Bay Battalion players. And he's one back former captain Barclay Goodrow for 5th all-time. Pretty impressive postseason these guys are having. And again, guys like Nelson and McDonald who are putting up these points. And Petrov as well. They've only played in 2 postseasons.
Yep.
Jackson as well, right? Jackson's first couple of years, the Battalion either weren't good enough to make the playoffs or there was the COVID season. So even Jackson, who has
second playoffs as well,
30 points going into this game in his postseason career. He's got an assist tonight. Check that, he's got 2 assists tonight. So he's at 32 points in the postseason.
There's something weird going on the ice, so they weren't sure whether they were stop and play, but we're sailing back in for the face-off here now with 4-on-4.
9:55 to play in the third period, and there's 15 seconds remaining in the penalty to Romani. He'll come out of the box, and the Battalion will have a 50-second power play. Turned over at the North Bay blue line. Wakely finds it, sends it up ahead to Nelson. Nelson coming in over the blue line, drops it back to Wakely. Wakely coming right in on the backhand. He gets denied. Puck goes to the point. Hislop has it. Romani is out of the box. 5-on-4 for North Bay. Nelson on the left side has it now. He will skate to the point. Dishes it back off to the left side to Hislop. Feeds it down low to Wakely. Wakely on the Battalion's 7th power play of the game. Sends it to Nelson. Across the right side, Romani. Back to Nelson. Back to Romani, down low this time. Romani walking in behind the net. Sends it to the left side boards to Wakely. He lets it go by him to Hislop at the line. Hislop off the boards. Still holding it. Sends it across to Nelson. Nelson fires it down low, wide of the net. It comes back out in front. A little chip at it, but it's taken away quickly by the Petes. They carry it into the near side corner, and now they're just content to hold it there. They lost it. North Bay regain it. Romani to the right side. Nelson, the shot, and it just goes high, and it goes out of play. 3 seconds to go on the North Bay power play. 8:51 remaining in the third period. 6-2 North Bay lead.
So an interesting bit on that play there. The entrance to that play was offside. There was
I thought so too.
Well in before the puck crossed the line. So even had they scored anywhere along that power play, it would have been called no goal. So
there was also a bit of, felt like a bit of reluctance to shoot from the Battalion on that, and I wonder if they just said, we don't want to score here, we just want to keep killing time here. I mean, probably not, but I felt the player was way ahead of Nelson when he brought the puck into the zone.
Yeah.
North Bay dump it down, so now they don't have to replay that whatever it was 45 seconds that they were in the zone there. And now we're back to 5-on-5 play. Lockhart over the blue line. Dumps it into the North Bay zone. Offman from the far side fires it wide. Picked up on the near side half boards by Robertson. He carries it to the point. Down towards the left side circle. Centers it, and the shot is stopped. And DiVincentis finds it right on the doorstep. And it's Offman and Winslow that are tangled up again. But the officials will get in the way quickly. We've reached the halfway point of the third period, and we'll take a break. We'll be right back. You're watching the Frontline broadcast right here, presented by Average Joe's.
This period is brought to you by Canada Alumni Perks. Get information on special events and news, or access the Alumni Job Portal. Visit canadacollege.ca/perks for more information.
Tonight's 3 Stars is brought to you by Dave's Automotive Services, 411 Airport Road in North Bay. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect from Dave's.
Derek is down below, and Derek, 4,200, 41 fans in the building tonight. They're certainly getting their money's worth here in Game 5.
Definitely getting their money's worth, doing an excellent job, being that factor for the North Bay Battalion that we've come to expect here in North Bay. They're loud, they're proud, and they're letting the team know that they have their back and behind them every shift out there. This has been a perfect third period so far for the battalion, protecting this 4-goal lead. They're not letting anything get in close to DiVincentis, keeping shots from the outside and staying out of the extracurricular activity. This is the way you got to finish out. Play this 8 minutes strong, and you're going to go into Game 6 with an opportunity for the championship final.
And that's exactly how the battalion drew up that plan. I think if you ask a lot of them, they felt that they let a game slip by them by not winning Game 3 and giving up a late goal. What was it, 2.5 minutes left in the game when the Peterborough Petes took the lead there, but the battalion responded, took Game 4, and now they've got a 4-goal lead here in Game 5, trying to hold on to it. White trying to play it to the slot. The battalion get it away from that area and try to flip it out. It's played off the glass, stopped at the point, and then the shot comes in from the Petes, and it goes over the glass and out of play. 7:39 to go in the period. 6-2 lead for the North Bay Battalion, and the Petes, to their credit, they put up 8 shots in the period on Dom DiVincentis, but not a lot of quality stuff coming at him.
Yeah, no, and that last play, clearing away from the front of the net, Arnsby almost put it out of end and almost gave them another 2-minute advantage. But North Bay is now at 50 shots.
North Bay win the draw and send it down the ice. White in behind the net. Across to the left side and sent out to the neutral zone. McCallum to Lefebvre. And there was a Pete's player that hadn't cleared the zone. That was J.R. Avon just kind of hanging out in the attacking end. And the Pete's brought the puck over the blue line, and he was still in there, so offside is the call.
Yeah, and there was a bit of a late hit, but the refs got in there quickly before the players could swarm and kept things from getting out of hand.
Michael Simpson, the goaltender for the Peterborough Petes, was relieved of his duties. 31 minutes into this game, or thereabouts, 31:53. And Stushka has come in and has made all 15 saves against him that the battalion have put on. And I can't imagine anyone but Simpson is starting Game 6 in Peterborough. But you never know. The battalion have scored 10 goals against Simpson over their last 4 periods of play now. Here comes Bloom down the ice over the left side. Bloom with a shot. Glove save made by Stushka. You know, the battalion saw this as well last year. Joe Verbetic was the number 1 guy. Dom DiVincentis came in relief and took a couple of games away from Joe last postseason.
Yeah, he kind of stepped in and became the starting goalie at the one point. And I think he missed a game he was ill for one game.
That's right.
And then came back and finished the rest of the postseason.
Yeah. 6:44 to go in the third period. Battalion ahead 6-2. And they have now 51 shots on net. And again, the last time they did that on home ice was May 8th, 2022 against Kingston in Game 2 of the Eastern semifinals.
Lots of noise here in the arena still, lots of energy.
But look at this game is going late. I mean, my bedtime reminder has just come on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's past Matt's bedtime now.
I mean, both the first and second period took a long time to play. I mean, the second period ended at 5 minutes to 9 Eastern Standard Time. And we're 9:30 now. Here comes Wakely down the ice, over the blue line, drops it back to Romani. Romani gets it poked off his stick, and it ends up on the boards with the Pete's in control. They try to clear it. It's blocked by Petrov. He feeds it down to Romani. Romani back into the slot for Wakely, but he was over skating the puck there and never could get it settled on his tape and could get the shot off. Now they turn it over right in front of the net. Wakely there, but he gets denied by Stushka. Puck goes to the right side boards. Romani back to the point to Christopoulos. He feeds it along the boards, and it goes behind the net up to the near side, and the Petes will get it out. Robertson through the neutral zone. He's got a goal tonight, his 5th of the postseason. He brings it over the blue line, drops it back. Shot coming in, and it's wide of the net. Ricocheted off the end boards and out to the neutral zone where McCoy will bring it down. He plays it back up ahead to Othman, coming in on the right side, cuts to the middle, dishes it off to the left side. The shot wide of the net. Lockhart now behind the net, battling for it for the Petes. McCoy involved as well. A hit thrown by Arnsby, and he gets it out ahead to Petrov, and Petrov comes up to the blue line and dumps it down the ice. 5:15 to play in the third period. 6-2 lead. McDonald trips up Page behind the net, and that will result in a penalty coming up against the big man of the Battalion. Page going down the ice, tries to get around Hislop with a nice move, but Hislop stops him on that second attempt, and Hislop touches the puck to blow the play down. So with 5:01 to go in the third period, North Bay ahead 6-2.
Yeah, and that's another one of those penalties like the previous one where you don't want to be giving them any chance to be getting back in this game. You don't want to give them any momentum. And you just got to watch where your stick's going better than that.
5 minutes to play, 4-goal lead. And the 4th power play of the game for the Petes. Shot from Avon, it gets in. De Vincentes had it for a second, lost it, came out of his net to play it, and then it was still out of his reach, but the Battalion defenders find it and send it down the ice. Getting their goalies back on that awkward-looking play. And how about that for Shaky? Avon, wide open in the neutral zone, falls down and turns the puck over.
And then Urtel, on a chance the other way, sticks, explodes in mid-shot, and becomes nothing.
That's right. The Battalion just trying to kill the time, though. They're down to 1:15 on this penalty kill with 4:11 to play in the period. 6-2. North Bay lead, looking to take a 3-2 series lead. The Petes out of the zone. Robertson with it. On the right side boards, feathers it across the neutral zone. Not a great play as Ertl broke it up, and then a couple of big poke checks at it, and that allows the Battalion to maintain possession. They drop it behind their own goal line, and now they send it all the way down the other way. Killing off more time on this penalty kill with 35 seconds remaining. Through the neutral zone, White trips over the blue line. Is there something on the ice in that area? First it was Avon, then it was White just falling down, no one around him. Here comes Robertson towards the net. He stays on his skates, but then lost the puck, and it's sent down the ice. 10 seconds to go in the McDonald penalty, 3:10 to go in the third period. Othman through the neutral zone. Over the blue line to the right side, Robertson. Robertson controlling it as McDonald is out of the box. Robertson feeds it to the middle, kicked away, and the Battalion will get it out of the zone. Wakely backhands it down the ice. Icing will be called against North Bay with 2:47 to play in the third period.
Yeah, and that was just another case of Wakely not taking that extra one stride that would have gotten him past the blue line there. And there's such, both those penalties in that play there are 3 chances where North Bay potentially could have been giving Peterborough chances to get back in that could easily have been avoided. And that sort of needs to be, I think, tied up.
I also think it's just a matter of this has been a long, trying game, and you're just trying to get to the end of it healthy. And I think you get up to the red line, you got a little bit of pressure on you, you send the puck down the ice in motion, and the officials are like, "No, you're just 2 steps behind the center ice line." So I don't blame Wakely too much on that play. Again, just it's been a long game, and I think guys are just starting to get worn down with 2:20 to play in this one. Again, like I said, the message from the coaching staff was clearly we need to calm down the animosity because this period has been just even-keeled, back and forth, a couple of chances on either side. The Battalion up to 52 shots, 13 in this period. The Petes are up to 9 shots in the period and 23 overall in the game. And I believe that'll actually be a postseason low for them. But the Battalion are a minute 45 away from getting a huge win on home ice and taking a huge series lead with them down to Peterborough. Puck sent down the ice. Icing will be called against North Bay.
Yeah, and that was one of those. I think at this point the game's over and they're really just like, okay, let's end this now. I was surprised they went for that stretch pass, though, to a guy that had someone on him, and neither of them touched the puck. Like, that's,
Yeah.
If I was a ref, I'm saying, okay, one of you guys should have touched that.
Yeah, I get that.
Oh, Trainer's coming out for a second here.
Oh, Andrew Satchu is coming over to look at Dom DiVincentis. And Dom is favoring his lower half. And that's going to be the end of the game for Dom DiVincentis. Charlie Robertson will make his postseason OHL debut as DiVincentis will just go to the bench. And with a minute 34 to go, probably just a protocol thing and saying, let's just let him finish this game off.
Yeah.
Now, Dom does look to be okay. So, Battalion fans probably breathing a sigh of relief there.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any real injury or discomfort.
Charlie Robertson listed at 6'3", 167 pounds. Dom is listed at 6'2" and 190. And boy, that is 23 pounds of... there's a lot of difference there. I mean, Dom just looks so intimidating, and you're like, where do you shoot the puck on this guy? Whereas Charlie Robertson, again, he's not a small guy, but compared to Dom, it just looks like, oh, there's a little bit more room in net now.
Well, with that last year, even when we had Joe Verbetic, who was 6'6".
Yeah.
That was even.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Dom looks small compared to that, right?
Yeah.
So, no, I think Charlie's had a pretty good season. He had a bit of a rough patch in the early going, but there was a stretch there where him and Dom were kind of trading off game for game and shutout for shutout.
Yeah.
Right?
I think there's like a 3-game shutout where
Charlie had 2 of them.
Yeah.
45 seconds to play. And probably not the way you envision getting your OHL debut if you're Charlie Robertson, but you know what? Get out there. Get your feet wet, kid.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of an ideal way to get in there because you're not going to, it would take a lot for him to have lost this game. And
that's right.
Having him be Rookie of the Month leading up to the playoffs, and then all of a sudden no ice time.
That's right. Well, the Battalion fans are on their feet. 10 seconds to go. Troops lead 6-2, and they are going to take a 3-2 series lead with them down to Peterborough with an opportunity to clinch the Eastern Conference. They are 1 win away from eliminating the Peterborough Petes. And if they play like they did today, in 60 more game minutes, the Battalion could be Bobby Orr Trophy champions for the first time since 2013-2014.
Yeah, and McCallum at the end, just as the buzzer was going, kicked the feet out from underneath. I think it was Bloom or Van Steensel, I'm not sure. But completely away from the puck, just kicked the feet out from underneath him. I'd be curious to see if maybe there's some look at supplementary calls on that.
Now the official had his hand up at the end of the game there, so...
They look like slew footing is being taken very seriously because of the damage that could cause with head injuries.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe there will be some repercussions there. We will see. We're going to take a quick break, and then we will have the Laherda Imports post-game show for you right here, as well as the Dave's Auto 3 stars of the game. Thank you so much for joining us today. We've got a little bit more on the way, and remember, like our Facebook pages and our Instagram pages, and that is where we will have the post-game press conferences live for you. But before we get there, Ben and I will have the post-game show for you right after this break. You're watching the Frontline broadcast right here on YouTube, presented by Average Joe's.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items, or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
As a Canadore College alumni, you have access to perks. Canadore Alumni Perks. This is a lifetime membership that includes special access to great offers, opportunities to get involved, and so much more. Graduates can access discounts and special offers from businesses and hotels locally, across Canada, and internationally. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Keep in touch with Canadore's alumni office. Visit canadorecollege.ca/perks. Great things happen here.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
The Frontline Podcast, Season 3. Courtney Kenny, Matthew Sukram, Derek Lindemann, Bob Coles, and Ben Long bring you closer to your favorite teams like never before. Covering everything to do with hockey in the North Bay area, exclusive interviews with the North Bay Battalion staff and players, expert analysis on the OHL, NOJHL, and more, keeping you up to date on all things Voodoos, Trappers, Lakers, and more. It's a new season, it's a new adventure. The Frontline Podcast Season 3. Available wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
And we welcome you back. This is the Laherda Imports post-game show. Matt Sukram with you here alongside Ben Long, and Brad Brooks is going to join us in as well. I mean, he's got a microphone, so he might as well. What a game for the Battalion. They are outdrawn in the faceoff circle, 45-29, but it really didn't matter on the scoreboard. They win 6-2. Let's get your Dave's Auto 3 stars of the game. Number 3, Kyle Jackson, who ended up with a goal. No, he ended up with just the 1 assist.
2 assists.
2 assists tonight for Kyle Jackson, including on the opening goal. Ty Nelson had a goal and 2 assists on the night as well. And Kyle McDonald, who scored 2 goals, his 13th and 14th of the postseason, leading the Battalion to this 6-2 win. So those are your 3 stars for the night. All right, guys, what do you make of that? The North Bay Battalion came out, scored 3 goals in that first period, really back-to-back, all 3 of them coming in the first 10 minutes, well, first 9:18 of the third period, and that really set them on the path to the 6-2 win. Ben?
Yeah, I mean, that's what North Bay needs to be doing. If they can come out and insert themselves in that first period right away, everyone around the league knows they're one of the deepest teams in the league. Everyone around the league knows they have some of the highest firepower around the league. Everyone in the league knows they have one of the best goaltenders around the league. They just need to come out and show that that's who they are off the hop of the game. Otherwise, they're playing catch-up all day.
And they certainly did that in tonight's game, Brad.
Well, it seemed like that bulletin board material that we were talking about, that you guys were talking about before the game, about DiVincentis looking a little shaky, and perhaps if we just put more shots on him, he'll unravel. Well, the North Bay Battalion looked at that and said, you know what, let's just put more shots on Simpson. And they came out and put 21 shots on the board in the first period and really just set the tone for the game. And I think the game, I don't want to say the game was over after one, but it definitely a pretty steep uphill climb for Peterborough after that.
Ben, what do you make of the fact that things got really rough there in the second period? Zito, as we found out, is headed to the hospital, took a hard hit in the corner. What do you make of the fact that it got rough and the Battalion ended up losing a player because of it?
I mean, that's never good, especially someone who's been as dynamic as Zito has been for them this postseason, right? He's been such a solid player on both sides of the ice, playing the full length with vital penalty-killing minutes. He's played power play minutes. He's been doing everything. It sucks to lose a guy like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Brad?
Well, and I don't necessarily want to speculate here, but if he was taken to the hospital with his arm in a sling, it looked like when he was going off, he was holding out his collarbone. And it looked like the pain was so bad that he was almost losing consciousness and falling over there. So is he done for the playoffs? And how badly does losing a top six center, for the rest of the playoffs affect you now?
Absolutely. So that remains to be seen. The Battalion, as you said, they've got the depth, but that is a big guy to have to replace, especially a guy that was involved in a lot of the rough stuff when it was happening, whether he was the one instigating it or he was the one kind of defusing it as the game went along. Zito has been an integral cog of this team ever since the Battalion picked him up, but especially since the postseason started. I mean, he has really shown his value to this team. All right, speaking of a guy that left the game, let's talk about the Pete's netminder before we wrap things up. Michael Simpson gone from the game. Stuchka comes in, makes 17 saves in relief. Do we have a quote-unquote goaltending controversy in Peterborough land, or do they go back to Michael Simpson to start Game 6 in Peterborough?
I mean, I know that's a question that you got to talk about, right? But with Simpson having the season that he's having, he's going to be the one starting again. He's put in a hard game so far. He was just getting shelled. Get him out. Let him be ready for Sunday night when we have to come back again.
Brad, any thoughts on that? Do the Battalion maybe have to look at a new guy facing them on Sunday night in Peterborough?
I can't see that happening. No, I think it was just a one-off. I think you will see Simpson for Game 6.
Right on, okay. And we will see you. Maybe it'll be Game 7. Maybe it'll be Game 1 of the OHL Finals. That remains to be seen. Game 6 goes in Peterborough on Sunday night. And we're hoping that the Battalion are coming back here with a series victory after that one. So, for Ben Long and Brad Brooks and Derek Lindemann, I am Matthew Sugrum saying thank you so much for joining us tonight. Head over to our Facebook and our Instagram channels right now, where we will have the post-game press conferences live. Thank you for watching the Frontline broadcast right here on YouTube, presented by Average Joe's.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay, to see how we can serve you and the community every day.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.